Культ, привет!
5, 4, 3, 2,
Greetings!
1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Rise and shine, mortal.
Initiate defense matrix. Come on. Forward barrier activated. Giggling neck. If they want this point, they'll have to go through me. Hey, that's my objective.
Work harder! I feel all warm inside.
Hello.
Hiya. Mobilizing. Calling up G. I'm on defense.
Rise, rider.
I feel all warm inside.
Hey.
I'm on fire!
Double kill.
Ha!
Score 1-0.
What's on the docket? Winning, I hope.
Hello. So, DJ, what's your favorite animal?
Oh, well, I really like tree frogs. I didn't expect anyone to ask.
Tree
5,
frogs?
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
願えば平和は訪れよ。Hello. I am here.
The objective is
Take it easy, alright?
They're targeting me.
Defeat. Play of the game.
Agree with you.
Yeah.
I think just the Zarya's presence was so strong into that comp. With the flex, the Genji flex, it was just so hard to pick him off. He was just kind of in the backline for free.
Yeah.
Couldn't really handle him, especially with the bubbles. It was just very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
This next map, it looks like TU is taking us to Busan. How do you feel?
I think it's gonna be Midtown. It looks like Midtown.
It looks like Midtown. It might be Midtown.
It might be Midtown. We haven't gotten the map quite yet, but we are. We'll let you guys know as soon as we know. But we're not going to be on a control map because we just played control, right?
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem
looking
at
at
all.
the pig.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. We have a monitor a little bit further away that we can
Yes,
kind of
yes.
see what's going on here from. So it is very likely that we're going to be looking at a map like Midtown. And Midtown, if you guys don't know, is a hybrid control or hybrid game type. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so hybrid control means the first point you have to capture is a capture point, and then the next is a payload escort. Escort maps usually are just full escort, and control maps are just full control. This one brings both of them into a map.
Yes, and whenever you play maps like hybrid maps, it's very kind of one lane. You can think of it like one giant hallway that you're just brawling down. So we see a lot more hero diversity in the sense that we have longer range heroes that are typically preferred on the maps like this. So what kind of heroes do you think we should expect on going into this?
I think the Emre is almost a guarantee.
Yeah,
Emre
I
is
definitely
just
think
such
so
a
too.
strong
Yes,
character. Being able to not only live the dive, but be able to even stop the dive entirely. Being able to, with the gun, kill someone from the dive, either trade out or even get out all alone, is just an amazing ability for that character.
Yes, for sure. And Emery Ultimate on Midtown is actually very strong
yes.
because it lets you zone out a lot of space. So Emery's Ultimate does quite a bit of damage, but it's actually relatively easy to avoid. Lots of cover you can play around it because these are good players, right? We're looking at good players here, and we know how to use cover properly. We know how to make rotations. We know how to kite away from important ultimates, and as a result, it's actually very unlikely to kill people, but it is very likely to zone them out of very strong positions, which is something we're gonna be seeing pretty frequently. Yeah, but it does look like we're walking out of Midtown here.
If we were walking into Midtown, I would not be surprised if we see a Sim ban coming out here.
Yeah, Sim ban is
here
definitely
would be,
something
would be very very good for both teams. I wonder which team, if TU decides to ban the Sim first, or if they protect ban something of their own.
Yeah, because it is loser bans first,
Yes.
and they get map pick and first ban. It's very likely that we see honestly, I think it might be a Symmetra
Protect ban?
Protect ban,
It
yeah.
might
So
be,
I think
yes.
we're gonna see we might actually see something like an Emery ban. We might see something, maybe like a Bastion ban, something like that. But I do believe we're going to see a DPS ban from TU here. And then we'll probably end up seeing a tank ban, if I had to guess, from
I had to guess.
SE.
It's either going to be the Domina or the Sigma.
Yeah.
Both tanks on this map holding first on defense is so strong. And if you don't have the rushdown comp or just the ability to cross that one lane. So Midtown is basically there's one large entrance and you have to go to it.
Right.
Which
is why Symmetra is strong.
Yes, which is why Symmetra is strong. You can skip that entire section of the map.
Yeah. You're good.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Domina or a Sigma here, just
Yeah.
controlling all of that space.
Yeah, I agree. Not Symmetra. Domina and Sigma are two of the strongest tanks on this map, as well as a Ramatra, but Ramatra hasn't been in the meta for a while, so I think it's actually pretty unlikely we see a Ram here.
He might need to see some love in the next patch coming out.
we might need
soon.
a buff or two from Ram. He's pretty oppressive when he is meta, but people do enjoy a good Ram sometimes. If it's a little bit too much, it is what it is, but yeah, we'll see. Have we seen any bans from either side, or I don't think we have yet. I think we're kind of just in the lobby, strategizing a little bit before we head into the next match. But one thing to note, guys, I will talk a little bit about broader Overwatch. We will have the next season of Overwatch start on Tuesday, which is very exciting. If you guys don't know, the first season of the new 2026 Overwatch started, what was that, February?
It was around
January, February,
yes.
something like that. And we saw 5 new heroes. Well, that's 10. 5 new heroes. We are getting some breaking news.
So it seems like Southeastern did ban the Ram, and
Do we have a TU ban? Lucio.
And-
Okay, Lucio
that
ban. Okay, that's pretty.
Lucio ban.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the Lucio ban. Okay. So let's break this down. So the University of Tulsa bans Lucio. Okay, and if you don't know,
they had first ban too.
Yes, they had first ban.
They
So they
banned the Lucio first.
Yeah. So and Lucio is a incredibly important hero in the metagame of Overwatch because why?
Speed control. Speed control is so important, and now without the Lucio, I feel like they almost guaranteed me to
Symmetra.
have
I
the
think
Sim or the Juno.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely a Juno.
Definitely a Juno,
Juno
for
is the
sure.
only other support in the roster outside of an edge case, which is Mizuki, but we're not going to talk about that. The only other support in the roster that has a speed boosting ability. And the thing is about Overwatch is positions and rotations are essentially your win condition most of the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So the faster you can make rotations, the faster you can take space, the more likely you are to actually win a game. So the Lucio ban really foreshadows either a Juno pick or a Symmetra pick, in my opinion. And then the Ramatra ban is, I think, a little bit more personal preference for the team. Ramatra is a very strong tank in denying a specific location, but he's pretty slow. So I'm actually kind of surprised to see the Ramatra ban here. I thought we'd see something a little bit more like maybe
Dom or
Zarya
Sid, honestly,
here
I was
also would have been
thinking
good
of
as
Dom or
well. Yeah. We got an express delivery here at the caster table, which we are unable to accept at the moment. But we are loading into Midtown here, so this is going to be very exciting to see from both teams. going into this. I think it could go either way. Midtown is a very interesting map. I think it's going to be particularly difficult for the attack to break through this first choke here without the Lucio. So it's going to be exciting to see kind of what goes on here.
As we see both teams running the Sigma, which is very predicted. I think this is a very strong. This is like who can control this middle space first, and we do see the Sim coming out from UT.
Yeah, exactly.
Sim was also one of our predicted things. They are gonna need. I'm really curious to see where they TP off. Usually, it's this high ground onto the right side of the map coming from attacker side. That is just so strong. You skip the entire section, but I'm really curious to see how they put themselves in a position to do it.
I also think it's interesting that you're running the Symmetra with a Sigma. You typically don't see that. Whenever you're running a teleport, if you're going to play a Pokier tank, it's going to be with something like a Domina. So it's going to be really interesting to see how TU uses Symmetra to break out of the choke here. So all we're seeing in this moment here is SE is just going to back up and give University of Tulsa space.
TP coming out early, only for 2, so they're splitting the defense here. The Emre and the Alari going on the flank here. That is such a strong angle, forcing SE to give away some space for them.
Yeah, I think it's very likely that Borderline is actually able to find a pick here, but he is getting zoned out by Spacemaker on top of the fire truck here. Big rock from Fluff Nuggets on the enemy. Sigma were not able to properly close out on the kill. Southeastern really low on resources here. Looks for another teleport into the fire station right next to point. Here we're just kind of waiting for something to happen. It looks like Spyro Reborn caught by Allocate on the engage here. University of Tulsa really low on resources. Loftus is also caught in the engage, and Selfish Neb here is left with 10 HP in main. So he's going to have to back up, and the University of Tulsa is going to have to hit a reset. Southeastern is going to be able to catch 2 stragglers here around the alley area, catching Damp Weasel, and we do see an escape from the, I think Borderline, the Emre player. So going into this next fight here, we are going to see Southeastern with a major ult economy advantage. Fluff Nuggets at 90% to ultimate, but more importantly, Robotic Cat at 99% to Kitsune. We're very likely to see this happen pop over the next 10-15 seconds or so as University of Tulsa.
Space coming out with another pick.
Oh my god.
I don't think they even need the Kitsune.
Yeah, they don't even need it.
They just need a stall.
Yeah, Damp Weasel caught in the neutral, which is just kind of this phase of the fight here where each team is shooting each other as the defense waits for the attack to make a play. Borderline catches Dark Fox.
Destroys the team before he gets to the
and Spacemaker catches him with the gun.
Oh my god! Selfish Neb
Borderline.
hitting the rock on the ulting Sigma there. Absolutely crazy.
This is actually relatively good for University of Tulsa because they're going to be walking into the next fight with almost 5 ultimate abilities across the board. The only thing they don't have is Symmetra Wall. Southeastern will have to counter this with the Emre ultimate from Spacemaker and the Kitsune Rush from Robotic Cat. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the game plan is.
Spacemaker in just the best spot ever. I don't think he's gotten shot at once. He's just on such a strong angle.
Maybe
almost getting a kill on Lupus here. Hits the Emre ult onto the corner.
Zone out the backline.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have the Kitsune in main to keep Fluff Nuggets up to hold the angle. Spacemaker just walks him down in main, catches 2, Allocate on the Genji. It's just going to be a cleanup from here for Southeastern.
Good stagger coming out here as well on Borderline there. Just delaying their restart just ever so slightly, but every second counts.
Yes, exactly. And I'm still a little bit hopeful for the University of Tulsa here. We do have Sigma ulti, Emre ulti. Selfish not taking 1 million damage on the walk class. But we do have a lot of ultimates going into this fight here, so it is pretty likely, in my opinion, that the attack is able to break this defensive hold.
Coming out from Selfish Neb, we might see a big flux coming out here. I'd be really excited to see who he hits it on.
Oh, Emre ult
coming from the top.
Blade is coming out on the back line. This is pretty dangerous for both teams with the Wuyang ult.
Selfish Neb coming out from Alpha Lane.
Oh no. University of Tulsa, it's actually even here in terms of count, but University of Tulsa is down their tank, so being able to take space aggressively is just not really going to be as possible.
But you guys also, both Sigmas do have ult here. Ult economy not looking great for both teams, but they do have the sim wall. Coming into the last fight here, we're going to need to see...
I mean, if the University of Tulsa is fast, they can actually take this space super aggressively.
In which they recognize and they take TP fast, but
the lift
only hitting Neb.
The sim wall comes out. The sim wall comes out. They're gonna have to push the sim wall to touch the point here because time is ticking. 10 seconds left on the clock.
The carry with the flux.
The flux on back on the
and the rock comes in and Lupus gets the kill on Fluffy Nuggets.
And then Southeastern is just not able to make the hold. Once that Symmetra wall came out, there was just no way they were going to be able to stop the University of Tulsa push here. So it kind of did just come down to the ultimate economy for first point.
Amazing restart coming out from Tulsa here. recognizing that they had to go quick into this team fight because they were down, really showed the level of experience and the recognition that is needed at this level of play.
Exactly, and what we're going to see here is the University of Tulsa trying to push up as quickly as possible to fill space to stop the defenders from being able to stuff them in the choke. We do see a teleport from University of Tulsa to put Borderline on the angle here to shoot enemy backline, and it is going to be enough to allow Red Team to be able to push further here. Alakay doing his best to stuff the Alari and the Emre on the angle, but that's not going to be enough. The Fluff Nuggets actually almost caught on the engage there, 1 HP down in main, and this is just going to give Red Team a lot of pressure to be able to push the cart under the bridge. Rock comes out, doesn't really connect with the shield blocking, and Alakay once again doing a great job with space control here, stopping the flank of University of Tulsa. A Rock does connect on to Southeastern here. Another Rock connects here.
Huge rock off Nuggets being able to take him out. He got him out of the window range, so he couldn't even utilize it. And Fab just not able to pick him up. The Emery
Tulsa turning this around, but it's not enough. Spacemaker catches Loftus in the mid fight. Spacemaker with another one, and maybe a third. Fluff Nuggets actually took the kill, but yeah, this is some really great hit scan play from Spacemaker here. And this is looking really great for Southeastern. We're going to be walking into the next fight. Blue team at the top left here is going to have basically 3 ultimate abilities from Wu Young, Sigma, and almost Genji Blade. University of Tulsa is going to have Sigma Flux, which we're going to see probably as the opener from the fight.
Yeah, I see Flux coming out here right quick. We'll see what happens here. What are we trying to bait out? Rock comes out.
Rock comes out. That means we can use
both
Sigmas ulting each other.
Sigma does get caught in it.
Fluff Nuggets goes down. This is incredibly winning for Red Team, even though they lost to Symmetra in the form of Loftus. But Red Team is up their tank.
On that Emre, both Fury and Emre 1 HP. Acolyte on the Genji Wu Yang. Can he turn this around?
It might be enough. Sigma is 1 HP. Can we kill the Red Team tank?
Pylon comes out. Genji 1 HP on this by this buzz here. I don't think
it's enough. No. It's not enough. Borderline is just too cold on the Emre.
Genji might be able to get out here. That would be a crazy reset from him, not being staggered here.
Yes, I think TU is actually in a pretty okay position here. They're pushed up. The only thing is Fluff Nuggets, as you can see, is pushing onto the Red Team background, trying to deny the space as best as he can. Doesn't really have the support here on my corner, so not too much activity here. The Spacemaker, oh my gosh.
From the other side of the map, but Emerald has infinite range when it comes to these long-ranged maps. Still getting so much space from it, being able to force them out.
He just zones out the backline that whole fight there, and it makes it really difficult for a blue team to be able to hold against the space from Red.
Came out, but Selfishness did go down, so now SC does have a lead on the tank, and that is just, in this game, you kind of need to have your tank. Oh, they did get the capture.
Oh wait, they capped. What? Okay. Oh, what? That's actually a blunder from Southeastern to let them be able to cap there. I think we have people alive.
So unfortunately, we cannot hear the game. So some things might be overlooked here. Don't mind it, but it's actually a crazy capture from Tulsa. So everything we just said kind of
didn't even matter.
It didn't matter because they captured it.
Yeah. So University of Tulsa is actually in a really good spot here because that cap happened.
And when they come out from both teams here, taking the space. This initial choke is a very strong choke to hold. Not letting SC hold it very well.
I mean, like,
very strong.
University of Tulsa just got to skip one of the hardest fights on this map. We do see a really deep Sigma Flux. Oh, is this a kill? Yes, that's a kill. That's a huge kill. Oh my goodness. So this kill lets Selfishness be able to deny space actively from the defending team, and then that's going to let his DPS set up on really good angles in this mid fight here. We actually don't see a lot of...
We might see a Wu Yang Genji ult here to try to recontest this.
Yeah, it comes out already.
Yes,
we see Wu Yang ult, and we catch the Bab. Can we get the kill? Maybe not.
Flux comes out as well. That's 3 ults coming out from SE. They do kill.
Catching Selfishness. Oh my gosh! Sniped out of the air. Spacemaker with the Emery ult. Actually way too cold on this hero. And that's going to be a successful defense from Southeastern.
Great recognition that was the last fight. They needed to use everything in the books. They used all 4 ultimates at the same time, and it paid off.
Dude, I wish we had an instant replay on that. He actually just sniped him from across the map. By the way, it's actually pretty difficult to hit that shot on someone in the air from that far away. That was like 30 meters away.
And the heavy round too has a charge a little bit too. You have to time it.
That was very impressive from Spacemaker there on the Emre. So I think we're gonna see a pretty similar comp from Southeastern going into this next fight here. I don't really think they're gonna change much. I think we're gonna see a Sigma mirror going into this. Do you have any expectations for team comps, or what do you think?
I think it might be flipped. I think SE will be running the
Symmetra, okay.
as well
Yeah.
instead of the defense. And from experience, let's see the team comps.
Oh, we're
looking
gonna see a
out.
Genji
We are seeing-
Emre.
Okay. This is very interesting. It's virtually the same team comp.
It's
No
just,
switches.
It's also just slow. That's the
It
only,
is very slow,
that's
and
the,
that's where I'm
disadvantage.
curious on how they're gonna break through this choke with Tulsa going on to the Torb, which is just a.
I actually think
I
pretty
like the
okay.
Torb.
Yeah,
I like the
I actually
Torb
think
here.
it's pretty good here.
I like the
yeah.
Torb here. It doesn't hinder them having a turret just sit there and shoot main
Yeah.
the entire time.
Well,
Very strong.
also the nice thing about Torbjorn is he has a cooldown called Overload,
Yes.
which gives him overshield and makes him a very resource light DPS, right? So he can kind of play his own angles, use his Overload whenever he's taking a lot of damage, and it just gives him a really good power spike that allows him to be able to live through the mid fight. But yeah, so Southeastern is going to be walking out on the Sigma, Genji, Emre, Wuyang, and Kiriko comp as they walk down main.
Surely my only concern is just how are they going to break through this? They either have to get a pick here. The Sojourn pick is very strong because Railgun actually being able to delete someone across the map with little to no fall off here. That might have to be their win condition. If not,
Yes.
I don't think
Yeah, we do see Allocate taking a deep flank here on Genji. He is going far left side. Yeah, as you can see from the Sigma checking there. And it's going to look to open up an angle. He's getting contested by 2. That's going to be borderline, and I couldn't really see who else, but he's getting stuffed on the angle and is no longer able to make that rotation. But because he's pulling 2 people to the side here, this lets Fluff Nuggets be able to walk and continue to take the space as a Sigma to you know, open up more opportunities for his team.
Yeah, the whole team taking this on the angle. We see Acolyte up top looking for a hit target, but
Fluff Nuggets at 1 HP, almost caught in the rotation here. Oh my gosh, big rock on Selfish Neb. TU is going to have to back up here. They're actually lacking a lot of cooldowns. We lost him with Toddy Field and Turret are both down from TU. So this
Borderline coming in with the kill on Space Maker. That is a huge kill, forcing them to back up. Now that's their big hit scam on. Big
Nuggets
rock
gets
again
rocked.
on Fluff Nuggets
Oh
does
my
die. Come
gosh.
down.
Borderline on the Emre actually putting in a lot of work here. Robotic Cat actually able to catch the Alari here, which is pretty bad from the defensive standpoint because if Southeastern is able to regroup quickly, they're going to be able to capitalize on the Alari.
The universe does not weep.
Hello there.
So we're not...
What I love to see in that fight was that TU flipped the map very well. They did not force themselves into that alleyway against the Sigma Genji, not letting them really hit their win pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to be looking at a flux coming soon from Selfish Neb here from the side of University of Tulsa. Most likely as a way to open up the fight for the defense. This is probably going to happen as we see Fluff Nuggets look to take space actively on the on the side of Southeastern. But just poking in this matchup here, farming ultimates, getting ult charge. Nothing too crazy happening, but we do see Southeastern take the deep angle to open up more space and get out of that main choke, which is what we talked about.
Once Selfish Neb sees everyone in that alleyway, I'm sure he's going to hit that flex. We have a flex.
Emre ulti coming out, Kitsune coming out here as well. Flux coming out on the enemy backline, catches 2 people and the lamp.
Oh, Acolyte deflects the
kill.
Emre bomb.
Oh, 2 kills for
ult.
Allocate here. Loftus with the Torbjorn.
Wooing ult, not enough to save the Genji, unfortunately. And TU being pushed back here. This is looking like an SE win.
Yeah, this is a fight win from SE here. Definitely great work with the Flux. Catching 2 very important targets there in the Emre and the Baptiste, forcing really strong cooldowns. I mean, arguably the strongest cooldown in the game in the form of Immortality Field, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, forcing out with the ultimate, catching 2 was just enough for Southeastern to be able to collapse on that space, especially with the kills from Allocate to open it up.
And we see here Tulsa not trying to recontest. They realized that their tank died too late, so they opted to take high ground fast and early, really just trying to set the stage for this next point.
Yeah, we're going to see Loftus and the rest of the University of Tulsa try to poke the walk up as best as they can to get ultimates to be able to open up an opportunity going into the next fight here. In this stage of the map, it's a lot of just poking until the card gets to about the under the bridge, and then we're going to see more activity from both teams, more playmaking happening.
Looking at the Sojourn has 100 charge, really looking for like a defining kill here to really turn this game. Turret goes down to Acolyte. They're kind of taking big angles on the right side here.
Yeah, a lot of space control.
Forcing.
Blade is coming out from Allocate. This is going to be a hard commit engage from Southeastern here. Spacemaker actually able to catch 2 in this engage, which is really good.
Alariel is blocked by the shield. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough.
Oh yeah, the University of Tulsa are just not able to do it. We needed to see an Alariel or a lamp or something come out earlier to be able to save someone on the engage from the Genji. It just wasn't enough. Maybe we could have seen an ultimate, but the University of Tulsa is going to have to give up the fight and the space here, which might actually lead to a point cap.
No, see, we see that Tulsa only has that molten core in the window.
Oh,
Window does come out, but
it
Flux
hits the
also-
BAP.
BAP dies before the fight.
Oh no, this is really bad for the University of Tulsa.
Molten core does come out. This will possibly stall the point a little longer. For hopefully BAP comes out, but they just don't have enough resources now to survive this.
Yeah, Fluff Nuggets is just unstoppable on the angle, especially with the Kitsune Rush spamming out the backline as Sigma, and it's just too much for the University of Tulsa to be able to defend against. They really needed to not lose the Baptiste to the Graviton Flux? What's it called? Gravitic Flux. There we go.
Flux.
I'm thinking of Graviton Surge. My bad. But
A lot
yeah.
of gravity characters.
There's
in this game.
more than one.
More than one?
Yeah, that's for sure. But we're going to see Southeastern take this very aggressively on the big time here as they do have the space. They won the fight early, which lets them walk forward and open up angles for DPS here. We are going to see an overclock from Space Maker on the Sojourn here soon.
I wouldn't be surprised if he takes top angle or even double slides into their back with immense pressure.
Allocate is up top, by the way. He is getting marked now, but he does have a really sneaky angle onto the University of Tulsa, which can be quite good to set up a win condition.
It seems as Wu Yang Genji is a very strong ult combination that they have.
Selfish Snap with the Sigma ulti dodges the rock to catch Fluff Nuggets down main as Sigma. Not enough to kill him. Oh,
Resources coming out heavy from Southeastern. Are they going to use the Wu Yang ult or the overclock to overrun this? Emery ult does come out here. Chunked him to half HP, but just the ult is so strong and controls everything. You just can't peek it.
yes, Borderline just zoning out all of Southeastern here, not able to take space. Wasn't able to kill anybody, unfortunately, though, finding no eliminations there, which is going to set Southeastern up to have a lot of pressure in this fight. The window comes out early. Are we able to find a kill? We're not. Loftus actually caught by Space Maker's railgun down main.
Peeking that window was detrimental. The window nade just chunking your entire health bar.
We do commit to the Flux on the backline here. Lamp comes out to save the Baptiste, but it's not enough to save the Wu Yang. And then we're just going to walk on Selfish Net here. I don't think we're having enough to keep him alive. Oh, we're not able to get the kill actually. The Baptiste is back. Oh, he was always alive. Oh.
Baptiste did. We have a little lag here. We do see the Wu Yang Genji ult coming out again. Such a strong ult combination.
Catches Wu Yang. Selfish Nab doesn't have enough support to stay alive. Loftus falls, and then Borderline and Spyro, the only two left, and it's just not enough to prevent the Southeastern cap here.
So you're taking another great game. We see how similar these comps are in their tank formation. The difference here was, I think, just the Genji Wu Yang so strong, not knowing how to deal with that Wu Yang bubble onto that Genji.
Yeah, and it's always unfortunate because the TU Baptiste always has cooldowns forced really early in the fight, right? I mean, he got solo ulted maybe three, four, 5 times throughout the course of this game. So it's definitely a rough match for him, just getting focused completely by Southeastern, because we have to keep in mind Baptiste, what makes him so strong is his cooldown Immortality Field, right? Absolutely. It's one of the strongest cooldowns in the game. You use it one time and it's on. You can't use it. Yeah, you can't use it again for 30 seconds. Yeah. So or you die, right? Or you die in that time. So it's really brutal for the University of Tulsa there. So and what did we see on the bans on that map? That was Ramatra and Lucio. Yeah, I do think the Lucio ban
was very
it's really brutal.
Determined both teams' comps there. As we saw both comps really trying to do the same thing, going that alleyway on first point to try to take that angle and take that space away. It's just which team comp could hold that space and take that space better.
Yeah, and I do think Southeastern played a very slow game, right? I mean, we did see a lot of just ult farming, right? Whenever they were on the attack, it's a lot of just sending bullets down main, getting damage in so that you can farm your ultimate abilities and be able to, as we mentioned, solo ult the Baptiste and maybe be able to, claim a win there.
In the bottom cam corner is a little fun. We see OK State's team enjoying the camera view.
Oh yeah, we do see Oklahoma State there, yeah. I hope they're doing well, as you can see inside where we are, Contenders Esports, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So
a little shameless plug, but after this game, we will be playing.
Oklahoma
stay
State
tuned for that.
Yeah. And it will be an in-house rivalry. We have Oklahoma State varsity versus Oklahoma State junior varsity, so that's going to be a fun engagement as well. We will not be casting that, as we will be playing. So yes, we cannot do 2 things at the same time, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to be in 2 places at once, it's not really possible. So what do you think we're going to see as a map pick on this third?
I would not be surprised if we saw a push map.
A push map?
Push map, no.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, because the Vendetta has already been banned. Once a team bans a character, it cannot be banned again by the same team. It still can be banned by the other team. But if we do see a push map, we could see a full Zarya Vendetta come to light here.
That's true.
If Tulsa protect ban Zarya.
What do you think push map? Esperanza, maybe?
I think
Or-
Esperanza is
it's probably
the
a pretty
favorable
good map,
choice
yeah.
for Vendetta and Zarya.
Maybe not, because I do know that Southeastern is an enjoyer of Winston,
Winston,
which
yes.
is actually pretty good.
But
And
Vendetta does slightly counter the Winston if it's done properly. Just being able to drag down that Winston,
Yeah.
forcing that mobility cooldown.
That is true. That is an interaction
very,
in the game.
Very,
Yeah,
very hard to
annoying.
deal with.
Yeah.
And that's why Vendetta is also kind of the killer of Diva, not being able to let her booster out for free every 4 seconds.
Right. Right. I think, yeah, if I had to guess because it's loser chooses maps and they also choose the first ban, I think it's actually pretty likely that we see the University of Tulsa pick. Yeah, I would have to say a push is probably the most likely.
push or
I would
watch-
not
I
take
mean,
it to an escort map. That's
If
for
they
sure.
did take it to an escort, I wouldn't be surprised. I think SE would like to see a watch point map. That's a
Yeah.
map that they have known to
Or
be
a
very
flashpoint,
strong
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So we'll see if Tulsa picks a map in their favor or against their favor, depending on what comps
Yeah.
they've seen and developed through this
Yeah,
league.
and the reason I wouldn't like to see like an escort map from the side of TU is because they walked into. Did they ban Lucio? They banned Lucio.
They did, they
Yeah, so
did.
they banned the Lucio. They played a poke comp and they lost in that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whenever you play escort, poke is a lot more viable, especially on a map like Circle Royale.
Yes.
Right, a map like Havana. I can't remember exactly the map pool, but I do believe Havana at the very minimum is in the map
Yes, it
pool,
is.
which can make it pretty awkward. I mean, I think if anything, I would not take it to Gibraltar. Yeah, I feel like there's just
Gibraltar
not a
would
lot
be
of
so
great
strong. Fluffy Nuggets on the
for
Winston.
Southeastern. Yes, like I definitely
that
agree.
would be a very
Yes.
bad choice, in my opinion, just because we know Acolyte and a Monkey is just so
Yeah,
strong
Genji.
together. Yes, the Genji.
Atlas,
And it
that
is
makes
Atlas.
sense. I mean, that's pretty much what we
Yes,
expected here. It's
yes.
going to be a flashpoint map. So, do you want to describe kind of flashpoint how it works and what to
Yeah,
expect
so Flashpoint is different among the other apps because you're controlling a set zone, but the zone switches multiple times throughout the game. The goal isn't to just capture, like, it's the same map,
Yeah.
but just multiple different capture zones. And so your
Yeah.
goal is to capture that zone 3 times to win the game.
Yeah.
There are up to 5 capture zones. We could have a 5 map,
Yeah, I
like
mean, it
5
could be
zone
really
map
cool,
in this
yeah.
game. This game mode could last a very
Like
long time,
15
up to
minutes or
15 to
something like
16
that?
minutes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Just depending on how long it takes. And here, Zarya Vendetta, very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong here, especially Alice. First point Alice is one of the most, like, arguably one of the hardest Zarya Vins to counter. Like, countering first point Alice on Zarya Vin is very hard.
Yeah.
Just because Zarya and Vendetta hold corners so well. You don't even have to engage on
Right.
this comp either. You can just hold the space and deny everything.
And also the thing about like Zarya Vendetta as well is that you have the ability on flashpoints to be able to rotate around the pokier heroes, right? The Sigmas that we just saw,
Yes.
for example, the Emrays, the Baptistes, the Alaris, things like that.
Speaking
You're able
of
to
team
just
comps-
avoid them.
Speaking of team comps, what are you thinking we're going to see? Or do you think we're going to see a Zarya Vendetta mirror here?
I think I'm unsure we're going to see a Zarya Vendetta mirror. I do think we might see a Zarya Vendetta from Southeastern. I think that's very possible. But I do think from the side of University of Tulsa that we're probably going to see, I mean, this might be a Zarya ban. I'm going to be honest. I think if I'm TU, I'm banning Zarya here and playing Diva. What do you think?
They did play Diva on the first map, and it would
Yeah.
make a lot of sense to ban that.
Yeah.
Really just thinking about it, like, the Zarya ban would be so detrimental to SE. They would probably roll out on...
First ban is Genji
so TU
from
does ban the Genji. They do
University
see
of
Acolyte
Tulsa.
as an issue.
Allocate
They
is the
have
problem.
Seen
Yeah.
Allocate. They are just, I think it's the Wu Yang Genji, just they were unable to stop it from getting in their backline every single time. The
Yeah.
Wu Yang bubble, such a strong ult, giving over 300
Yeah,
over health.
it's-
and
with
then
Blade on
with
top of
Blade,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
having a character with such high mobility, able to hit that, like, 0-second burst and just knock down the BAP. As we saw, BAP
It was
could
BAP
not,
and it was who was the other backliner from Alari, right?
it was
It was
Alari.
Alari,
Yes,
yeah,
they just
so,
couldn't
yeah.
get away.
Yeah.
And they were obviously the dive targets. I'm sure they were getting a little frustrated with that combo.
Yeah,
But
so we see the Genji.
we do see the Genji ban.
I think if we're banning Genji, it's very likely they're both playing Zarya. I do think it's very likely to be a Zarya ban. I think if I'm Southeastern, I'm going to target ban.
Either,
I mean, we want to
feel
see
like
the
it
Diva,
could
so
be
maybe a
Diva.
Hazard ban.
It could be a Diva, or
I
it
don't
could
think
even be
they're
a ball ban.
Well, like a ball ban. Baptiste
It is a
ban.
Baptiste. Okay.
Okay, that's
So
actually.
both
Oh,
teams
okay, I guess that
actually-
makes sense.
Both teams going for the target ban
Yes,
on
yeah,
like, each
yeah.
other. They are really analyzing their opponents. choosing to not go for as much of map choice bans, but
Yeah.
player-based bans.
Yes, exactly. All right, and because normally what you see on this map is the Zarya ban is sometimes you'll see a Vendetta ban, but you're looking for more like rotational fast heroes, like Tracer bans are also pretty common on this map. But that's a very interesting ban layout that we're seeing here. So the Baptiste ban on the side of Southeastern onto TU means that we're very unlikely to see heroes like Bastion. We're very unlikely to see heroes like Sigma that do well with that hero. So what do you think they're going to run on?
Honestly,
team comp?
instead of the Genji, I think they can stick with the Wu Yang, but I think it might be a Tracer this time. The Tracer Wu Yang
From the side of
Southeastern. I
yeah.
think we're going to see a Tracer Wu Yang here. The Genji not being able to put in the work instead because he's banned.
I mean, it could still just be a Vendetta.
It could be a Vendetta.
Like
we haven't
still
seen
have
a
Zarya
Vendetta.
Vendettas
It could
on
be
ban.
Zarya Vendetta still. Not taking metagame out of the question, it could be that.
Yeah, which is, for the record, I mean, we've mentioned it a few times on the stream here, but Zarya Vendetta is inarguably the strongest two-hero duo you can have. Zarya being the tank and Vendetta being the DPS.
If we all take a step back and remember, it used to be Zarya Reaper before.
Oh yeah, right before that. That was
Vendetta
and then there was also a
entered the
Zarya Venture phase of that as well. There was a few different phases of this comp, but Zarya has just
Zarya
kind of
just
been the
being
meta tank
so strong in the
for a
meta
while.
game,
Like
yes.
it's like Zarya and Diva are definitely the strongest. I mean, when we looked at the World Championships, it was a lot of Diva when that was happening because Symmetra was very popular from the European teams there. But we are going to be loading into Atlas here, which is going to be very, very exciting. Keep in mind, this is probably going to be like anywhere between 10 to 15 minute game. Typically is what we see. Overwatch is not a very long game, right? I mean, our longest matches are maybe 25 minutes, maybe. I mean, if you're comparing that to something like Valorant.
Very max range,
I mean,
yes.
yeah, Valorant games are like, what, 45 minutes? You know, League of Legends even longer, but we are going to be loading in here. So excited for this one. We're going to see the team comps in 4, 3, 2, 1 second, and I'm not too sure what to expect here.
It looks like it is going to be
Zarya
Zarya from both teams.
Okay.
Not sure if the Symmetra on the Southeastern side is going to swap.
I think
to
that's going to be a
Zarya.
sim,
Or
maybe,
might-
from Borderline. I'm not too sure. Or not a sim, a
from
Tracer,
Aqua.
maybe.
I think you're right, and I think that becomes my prediction.
I think
Correct.
Allocate is probably going to play the Vendetta, if I had to guess, walking out of spawn here. They're going to just use the TP, switch to Vendetta. I don't think we're going to see either team stick on Symmetra here. But the Zen Yada, okay. I was a little bit worried there.
A little trolling right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, okay.
It is the Tracer, so yes, my
and
prediction is
Sojourn.
correctly.
Yeah, okay, wow. No Vendetta from Southeastern here. Very, very interesting.
So without the wooing here, we're going to see how much this Tracer can get value onto this team. Looking like the dive target will probably be the Kiri.
Yeah, Loftus is in already and not able to catch anything on the initial bubble engage from the Vendetta. Cassidy here actually really good on this map. You're able to make a lot of rotations on your own, and more importantly, you're able to flashbang and really burst down the Vendetta engage really quite strong.
So for those who don't know, the man sitting next to me is a Cass top 500 player. He knows everything there is about Cass.
Cassidy might just be my bread and butter, but we are going to see the Southeastern engage here on University of Tulsa, who are not able to kite it.
We're getting killed
just
on
enough.
borderline,
Yeah.
setting the stage for this fight. This Tracer and the Zarya. I don't know what Vendetta's supposed to do against this Tracer. Very strong counter.
Not enough. We do see the teleport from Spyro Reborn to keep Loftus up on the engage on the deep angle, but blue team Southeastern just collapses and is not able. Oh my gosh, Space Maker with
a 4K.
3K here. He killed another one in the fight, so that was a 4K.
That was
right?
a 4K.
Yeah, that was amazing. Wow.
I think so.
I mean, this Space Maker just throughout the entire series has, been executing his own
yes,
name. I mean,
yes.
making space. What else? But yeah, we are going to be walking into this next fight here with a pretty sizable ultimate economy advantage from Southeastern here. We're looking 70% to Graviton, which is actually pretty fast. So we might...
Salvage unfortunately only have 40%
Yeah.
Graviton source. This might just be an early grab coming out from Fluffy Nuggets. You can see
he's playing
greeding for
super
it. He's playing
aggressively.
super aggressive
Yeah.
for this grab.
Yeah.
He knows it's coming up. He knows he's going to have it way before them.
University of Tulsa tries to flip the point here, but Space Maker drops to actually stop that from happening. Maybe able to catch Loftus. Huge kill onto
The
Loftus.
Graviton coming out, picking up 3.
Three from
Huge plans
Southeastern.
coming out here, but it's just not enough.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, the ult economy there really made that such a big difference in this fight. Unfortunately, Lupus did get it caught out very early. The Zarya Vendetta just not able to put in the work. I don't know how he's going to respond to the Tracer pick.
Yeah, the Tracer pick is pretty strong. I do want to point out that the Baptiste ban actually was really good there because if they had the Immortality field on that
Yes, he
Gravitron, it
lives.
could have been living. But instead we see Spyro Reborn on the Kiriko, which is really good with the comp they're playing, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered at all. But we are going to see Southeastern take space aggressively here. We do have the Deadeye, really good Sojourn to deny the angle and allow for the Vendetta to actually cut off the rotations from Southeastern. Deadeye comes out on main here. Are we able to catch anything? He's speed boosted. Catch 2.
Fence coming out.
Oh, almost kills 2 on the edge there. We do see Fluff Nuggets walk it down on them, and we are able to catch 1 kill on the Sojourn and on the Lucio. And I mean, that's just going to be a cleanup from Southeastern. The ultimates come out in the mid fight here. We did see a Kitsune rush from the side of Robotic Cat, and still University of Tulsa has not popped a single ultimate.
Yeah, we see here the Tracer does have Pulse Bomb online. That is really the only ult they have. They have Beat coming up soon, but what would really turn this fight, because TU is about to have all their ultimates online, who can hit the stick? Who
exactly, yes. And then we also have Zarya's on both sides, so we could also see a bubble on the Pulse Bomb.
And a cleanse from both sides either. There's not a whole lot that Allocate can really get without it being slightly countered here.
Yeah, I mean, Allocate already set up on a deep angle, looking to engage with Southeastern as they continue to take space into the Vendetta comp. Sojourn going wide on point here. Unfortunately, it hits nothing. Spaceman with a headshot. Holy moly, this is going to let Southeastern be able to contest this. Actively, we see a Kitsune rush happen on main, but we're not able to make very much of that space as Southeastern just rotates away from the rush and uses the cover from the enemy side to be able to walk on the target. It does look a little bit scrappy from Southeastern.
This ends now.
I mean,
we do see the overclock. Yes, we do
yeah.
have overclock used now. Not being able to get a kill. Maybe this Kiri getting able to see out. They do flip them out.
1 HP.
And then
borderline
overextended a little bit.
No.
Fluffy Nuggets taking advantage of that slide, not being able to use it. And now they just aren't able to engage here. Graviton comes out early. Solo grab on it, but B comes out from Dampui's.
And Fluff, he has Gravitron. He has Grav again. He's not going to make one. It's already won. He doesn't need it. Holy moly, Dark Fox with 2 to clean it up there. But Graviton here is really, really strong. He built
a Symmetra swap coming out from Borderline. Maybe we see some TP shenanigans coming out here.
TP Vendetta. Oh, they don't even get a touch. So we're going to go straight to the third point. I mean, this is down to the wire. This is map 3. This could be potentially the last point for the University of Tulsa, so they need to win this point to be able to stay in the series, because if you only need 3 to win.
Big issue is if Fluffy Nuggets just has Grav again, and being able to use Grav in this first fight is going to determine a large portion.
Really strong.
First cap on Flashpoint is so important, just because Flashpoint cap goes up so much faster than it does normal.
Yeah. Oh, we do see the engage from Allocate with the bubble, not able to catch the Cassidy, but that's going to be cooldowns lost from University of Tulsa for no benefit, which is going to be really bad in terms of economy.
Another bubble coming in here.
Not able to catch a Lucio either.
Taking the space though, we might be able to take pace, but we see Zarya being forced out. Grab doesn't come out here. B comes out here, B to save the grab. Wonderful. We do see the Vendetta ult coming out, taking that space.
Catch nothing with that though, but we are able to cap the point inside of University of Tulsa, which is very strong. Deadeye not able to catch
Deadeye and Lucio on the side here.
Spyro Reborn catches Spacemaker on the angle, which lets Allocate win the duel against the Vendetta. Missed the stick on point onto Zarya, so we're not able to clean this up. I think this is going to be a pretty dominant win from TU, but maybe not as we commit both Kitsunes from both teams. It's really scrappy. No clear target focus from either team. TU trying their best to stay alive on point here to keep the cap for themselves. Zarya's both on point here. Fluff Nuggets very low. I mean, Southeastern is out of resources. They've used everything to try to win that, and they're just not able to convert the kill. This could be the turning point for the University of Tulsa.
Yeah, so as we saw in that fight, a large portion of it, they did use 3 ults there, but both teams are coming out with a lot of ultimates in that fight, and Tulsa just able to kite and perform better under that pressure of being grabbed there is actually very winning.
Yeah, that beat on the grab was extremely good from, I believe that was Dampui's beat.
Actually, in this fight, both beats almost online again. We might just see maybe able to catch it is in overtime, so Southeastern does have to flip the point. Tracer going on this Lucio. Dampui's might see the end of his life.
Everyone with 2 kills.
Oh, Dampui's come.
Oh, TU captured the point. This is
fight.
exactly what they need to stay in the game. And I want to point out the ultimate economies here. Southeastern just with Grav, maybe B going to be online for next fight. But University of Tulsa is going to have B, Grav, and Symmetra Wall. Symmetra Wall being one of the best DPS ultimates in the entire game. So this is going to be actually pretty winnable from the University of Tulsa here as long as they keep up these brawls.
How do you think these fights are going to start playing out here? We see that the Vendetta ult is not online for this beat, but who do you think is going to grab first?
Oh, I think Selfish Nev actually
just grabbing the Zarya there.
No, it's the
realizing the Spacemaker has swapped to the Vendetta, and
Oh yeah, we did see a Vendetta swap here.
And we do see both grabs coming out. We beat comes
There's a
through.
post bomb, but the beat is
Post-bomb.
enough to keep them
Oh my
alive.
goodness.
What is going on?
These fights are so incredibly scrappy here. We're seeing who's able, Tulsa able to capture the point.
I mean,
beautifully.
Southeastern is trying to keep this
Beat
fight up.
comes out from
Beat.
Southeastern, yes.
The
Sorry,
Symmetra
almost
wall
at
as well to hold it. I think this is actually looking pretty good for Tulsa. It's
looking
really
very
difficult
good.
to walk out of this choke as Southeastern here. They really need someone to angle to open up some space for Fluff Nuggets to be able to walk down main safely. But Borderline just catches Fluff Nuggets as he tries to walk down main. This is going to be a full reset from Southeastern.
This insane turning point from TU. I really like the Symmetra pick. Being able to now just get up to TP shenanigans and
I mean, they just win the tank trade,
Yes,
right?
they
I
do.
mean, you just shoot Zarya, break all the bubbles, and he's gonna have a billion energy in the mid fight. We do see Allocate switch to Cassidy here, so
from the
I think we
Tracer,
switched
Jesse just
roles,
not able to
basically.
pick up the or on Tulsa rather.
Oh, so Kitsune
are so
and Blade coming out.
Both
from, or
Kitsunes.
Sword coming out from Tulsa. Yeah, both Kitsunes. And we do catch all of Southeastern in a single room. Southeastern, oh my gosh,
They
able to
are
kill
good.
one though.
And they do get the Zarya. Look, this is
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a fine win for Tulsa, but
Bringing
I
us
think
to
they,
2-2.
They
Now
caught
this is the last
they
point.
caught the Vendetta, so if they're they actually capped. Yeah, you're
Yes.
right.
This is looking like this is a down to the wire. This might be
down to the wire. Yeah.
This is going to be reverse 3-0. Is the Symmetra just the answer?
So Metro might be the answer. Yeah, we're seeing. I mean, this is an excellent performance from Tulsa. I mean, going into the next fight, Selfish Neb does have the advantage when it comes to Graviton here. We're very close to grab. I mean, that should be TU's priority, looking for their win condition. We're going to engage with the Loftus Vendetta, but we're not able to catch anything. Spacemaker doing the same thing from the side of Southeastern, just not able to force anything onto the back line. And both teams are just going to be looking for something in the neutral, just waiting for someone to miss position here.
And it looks like they're catching
Oh
the
my
but
gosh.
the bubble comes out to save.
Perfect time.
This,
for
oh,
that.
wait, he might not be able to get out. He
Loftus
does
with
get
1
out.
HP. Oh, the Graviton comes out.
from Selfish Neb. Killing the Vendetta.
The Deadeye!
Deadeye coming out to create so much space for his team. SE does have to capture the point, which is very strong.
I mean,
Fluffy Nuggets will be coming out, and Graviton starts coming online.
I mean, Southeastern got the point cap as well.
Yes,
That's
yes, very.
Borderline catches robotic cap, but the University of Tulsa is back. I mean, this can be a flip from TU if they play this correctly. The Vendetta engage forces.
Robotic Cat is down on SE.
no.
Coming back. Oh, and then they traded, so they aren't even, but they are.
Oh, no, is that an Ajax? No way! That's so unfortunate from the University of Tulsa. Oh, Damp Weasel tries to go for the beat to make the fight winning, but dies in the animation, so it cancels the ultimate.
Very
Oh,
unfortunate. And now this
brutal.
last fight, unfortunately, SE has so much more ult economy. I don't see how
I don't-
Tulsa is going to be able to turn
We need
this.
a miracle from Borderline's wall to be able to turn this fight. There's one fight left in this game, and they need to win it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fluffy Nuggets just instant this grab and they just dump all of their ultimates on this
Yeah,
last fight here.
I think it's very likely that Southeastern just goes first. They have the ultimate advantage. We do see the sword come out from Spacemaker
it does come
with
out
the
to the
grab,
grab.
and it's going to catch Nab.
Let's get on the grab, yes. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, Tulsa just not having the ult economy to deal with the grab, beat, and the Vendetta.
Yeah, they really needed to win that fight fast. That very first fight was super long, so that when Southeastern did get the cap, it was over. So Southeastern is going to take this
Series
game
3-0.
set match,
Yes.
yeah, for 3-0 against the University of Tulsa to proceed into the finals.
Both teams played incredibly amazing. Both teams showing their skills and their levels. I just think what it came down to was how to respond and how to react dealing with some adversity.
Yeah, I also do think Southeastern swapping off the Tracer back to Cassidy was a very important swap, right? Like, what they were lacking with the Tracer, I believe it was Vendetta, was a very consistent source of damage. So swapping to Cassidy was actually really good there, especially with the dead on that last point, which was very good for zoning out the University of Tulsa as they tried to take space. So that was a really good swap from them. Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for tuning into that match. Coming up next will be OK State Varsity versus OK State JV, which we will be attending.
You will see us in action.
You will see us in action. Maybe our names will be mentioned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on the stream. We will be right back with our 2 new casters actually for that match.
Yeah, I believe it's 22 and Fuzzball, so that's going to be very exciting. I hope you guys enjoy that. But yes. But great match, for sure. Perfect.
Wonderful.
And welcome back. More Overwatch coming. The Off-Season League. My name is 22. Here with Fuzzball today.
Yeah.
And how excited are you to be here watching some Collegiate Overwatch, specifically to be watching some Oklahoma State matches here?
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, both 22 and I, both Oklahoma State alumni.
Go
so,
Pokes.
yeah, go Pokes indeed. But more importantly, go Overwatch. We are going to be watching Varsity versus JV today. Varsity rolling in at the 1 seed, going 7-0 in the regular season, and then JV going 4-3, eking into that 4 seed and being able to make it to LAN. Super exciting for both of them.
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know about OSU is it actually stands for Overwatch State University.
That's true.
So, I mean, you're going to get to see a lot of Overwatch here. Overwatch squared, Overwatch times 2.
Yeah.
2 OSU teams. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, what is the expectation going into a match against a school's varsity and junior varsity team, right? I mean, is this dead in the water, or do we actually have some interesting things to look out for?
So I know when they played in the regular season, the match was actually pretty contestable. Both these teams, very efficient, strong teams that have had fantastic seasons. And I've talked to the JV team multiple times. I know they're interested in actually upsetting the varsity team. 1, because you get to make it to finals, and 2, because you get to go back to your home school and never let them live it down.
Absolutely. And we are in to it here pretty quickly. Gonna see these games kick off, and man, I'll tell you, Fuzzball, as 2 people that were at OSU in the day where we were just the gamers of OSU, it makes me so happy to see that super attractive athletic OSU logo slapped on to the overlay here as these teams are getting ready to kick off and get started. We were talking about how competitive these 2 teams are between each other, and I mean, we heard it in the pregame situation here. JV threatening varsity with every time a final blow comes out, they're going to stand up and let them know. I mean, we're on LAN. It's an exciting time, and let's get into it. Jetpack Cat, Sim, we got some interesting things going on.
Yeah, definitely some picks here from Varsity. Of course, Ilios well known for some silly plays from time to time, actually staging with the Orisa on this high left, high ground. Going to be an interesting angle that JV is going to have to deal with quickly. And a little bit of the difference in compositions. We see JV with that dive as Vibes actually finds that guy known, and Tail with the worst OWL player as well. So 2 players immediately down for Varsity, but Daniel trades back with Tail, being able to outrange that Sojourn, and Joking Lizard trying to get some extra space here. Just hit Champ on Jetpack Cat, actually. Which was pretty fantastic to see as well. Walk with another trade back, and with the sustain of OSU Varsity here, they are going to be able to take that first point. Again, Varsity playing this Brawl matchup, and we actually see JV match to the Orisa as well, trying to shift to the Brawl, but originally rolled out on that Doom, just a little bit hard to engage against a player like Orisa.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's a sturdy front line that the junior varsity team has to figure out how they're going to get around. What I appreciate about OSU JV is how quickly they got back in the mix, but just as quickly as they got back in, Varsity shuts them down. I mean, the kill feed illuminated through that varsity team, and it's going to be a staggered elimination onto its Daniel. 30% about on the capture progress for the varsity roster.
Yeah, really notice how Varsity is taking all of these off angles, especially Vibes on that Sombra, being able to engage on the backline and catching out a couple of picks in both of these first 2 fights. More than enough value what you want to see from your Sombra in these situations, and it's not letting JV walk up and get staged the way they want.
Yep, and we're going to have to see how this engagement looks. Again, it's the first hit somewhat coming through from Varsity. Tail's going to be the one to find the elimination. Maybe a distraction play coming through from Vibes on the side angle. It's a 2-pick advantage for Varsity as they are pressing W towards the spawn. I think we have a JV player. It's Daniel hanging out in the back line. What is the play here? Probably just going to kite and try to stay alive for one more fight, potentially.
Yeah, it's a very interesting angle to be at. Varsity's going to have to collect it, and JLo actually goes for the duel, is able to take that out. A fantastic stagger for the side of Varsity, being able to get that pick and automatically make it a 5v4 as Joking Lizard does a little bit of engagement. That guy knows able to sustain, and Vibes in the backline is actually going to get caught out, making it a matchup. A great turn by JV as the Cat ultimate is committed on the Orisa and dodges the Javelin as well. Joking Lizard being able to pick off the Orisa. Just 15 seconds now left on that point, and JV has no tank to push with. That guy knows going to catch out Joking Lizard though on this off angle, and maybe get traded out themselves as they do get the tap. 5 seconds left actually, nothing yet. Is going to be able to force overtime, just trying to develop these angles. No tank for either side. Walk is now back for the side of Varsity. Trying to push some angles. Tail's actually going to be able to take out Dakanon, who is going to get the res. Raichu trading right back onto Walk, no more tank, and Tail's forced to pull this high noon. Looking for Dakanon, able to dodge it with the invincibility frame. Great job there, and actually going to be able to chase down Tail in the backline.
And that's a point captured for the junior varsity team. No matter what your objectives are in a varsity versus JV show match, capturing the point, that's the objective of the game, and they were able to get it done. Vibes is in the back line. Going to be a very interesting opportunity to see how varsity chooses to re-engage.
A little sneaky here. It's Daniel's been on this a long time. Great cooldown commitment. Going to be able to win that duel against Daniel as well. All of a sudden, a 5v4 situation for varsity. Can JV sustain? But the EMP comes out, catches out worst wall player, and Tail gets a pick onto Dakai Known. And very convincingly, varsity is going to be able to take back this point and force overtime. Raichu trying to contest, not going to be able to get there. Just Wild Pants on that rally. Still forced into the Orisa ultimate, and that is going to be round 1 for Oklahoma State varsity.
Fantastic round. I mean, how exciting is it to see some of these different compositions coming through? I mean, being able to see some cat on a map like Ilios, it's like a ranked player's worst nightmare to be matched up against something like this. And we get to see it here on the big screen in the OSU versus OSU show match. But I gotta say, I kind of hinted at it. If you queue up for ranked, or even if you're in a collegiate match, your goal is just to win that game, right? But there's something different about two teams that are from the same university playing up against each other, right? The junior varsity team able to find wins in other capacities in this game, whether that is a single elimination in a fight, or ultimately that point capture there was fantastic. But I think maybe the biggest thing you can hope to accomplish outside of an outright map win here would be a full round capture. Winning the second round here, taking it to round 3 would be fantastic for JV. Let's see what happens, as we do have some swaps on both sides. What do you make of the Domina?
Yeah, I think the Domina is really going to help JV help develop their poke angles. I feel like Daniel was struggling a little bit to get a lot of value because there was just not a lot of angles being created by JV in that first one because of the way this dive plays from varsity. And Tail actually catches out Dakai really early on these duels. These duels are the other conversation that we need to have, is that varsity is being able to show off their mechanics in these 1v1s and just make a quick advantage. Vide's getting caught out by the Domina. Worst actually going to be able to get that. Walk trading back with Daniel though, so it is a 4v4 situation with varsity having priority on the point, capping that point as well, and now looking to engage a little bit more.
Yeah, one thing I want you to keep an eye on here is how the varsity roster is choosing to play this. Just now, Tail is swapped over to hold the right angle, kind of in support of our Orisa, but we also have players pushing on the far left, far right side of the map, and look at that! Worst OWOC player pushed off by the Javelin from Walk.
Yeah, great punishment there. Just a little bit of an overextension, and I mean, that's what Ilios is known for, right? All of the elemental, or environmental kills.
You might be thinking of Onron, right?
Yeah.
The environmental,
yeah,
the elemental
actually
character.
gets a pick onto Onron there, and getting a lot of advantageous space, a lot of free space here, and just these angles that with the jetpack cat that varsity's able to develop. How often do you see a Cassidy up here?
No, like exactly, right? And then I think for the varsity roster, Tail is exactly the type of person that you want to be able to take advantage of an opportunity like this, right? You have a champion cat, something that you never even think would be a sentence related to Overwatch a year ago, and they're carrying a high-level Cassidy player into an incredibly dominant position. Look at the push here from varsity all the way to the spawn with the Orisa ultimate slamming down, finding the elimination onto Brigida, and 2 more picks follow it up on the back of a high noon from Tail. 60% and counting for the varsity roster.
Yeah, just being able to execute their game plan so flawlessly, taking the priority and using some characters that we don't see a whole lot, like this jetpack cat with Tail on that high noon in the air. It's so difficult to avoid, especially when all of your cover has been taken by that point.
I'm looking for the Domina ult, Buzz. While we are coming into last fight territory, it's Daniel in dangerous position, and maybe before we get to see anything, it's an engage from the varsity team. Domina ult is popped, and it's helping lead to some strong openings here. Are the varsity team going to be able to sustain this? The Blizz comes out as well, but Vibes is quickly shut down.
Yeah, and the stun was helpful. Going to be able to get one. Joking Lizard actually being able to dive in there and find 2. The cat knows how to keep its 9 lives alive, is going to finally get picked off, but that's great. Some great staggers for the side of varsity as JV does finally get that cap. Going to be able to walk into this, has an ultimate available in that high noon with Kitsune on the side for varsity, so still very even in this ultimate economy.
Look at Walk.
Yeah, very aggressive here. Actually pinned off by their own Maywall a little bit.
Tail.
And it's going to pressure. Yeah, Tail getting picked off by Dakai Known as well. Very important staggers for the side of JV. Daniel and Vibes so close to each other on this duel on the right side, trying to look for something. Vibes probably has the ice block ready to commit. Does have to use it there as the team rotates over. No picks either side. I think they're waiting for the reset on their player that dropped. Daniel looking to investigate it. Worst of all, is actually going to catch out Walk. And that guy known, it looks like JV's going to be able to win another fight here. Finally having the chance to develop their angles on point and get staged has made it immensely harder for Varsity to be able to walk into this. So JV's doing a great job at holding their angles together, peeling for one another. We saw a couple of duels there that didn't really go either way, but JV just being able to peel for their opposition really easily is making this much more of a map as they start to tick back by 60%.
Oh my gosh. Absolute bully. The Mei and Orisa working together in great fashion. There's the Kitsune as well. Varsity's looking to shut this one down right here, right now. There's a few extra eliminations here. I think that's going to do it, Fuzzball. Slam them down, pick them up. The cat playing with the toys, and Varsity winning the second round of map 1.
Yeah, and as we were talking, it's just so difficult to not get punished by Orisa Mei. I know if I was playing that against that in my ranked games, I would be kind of tilted.
And they played it so well too, right? It's not just a matter of picking the right characters. I do want to circle back to talk about Tail in a second, but think about it from that Domina's perspective, right? Domina just trying to hold a position, and then like that's what that character is meant to do. Domina's supposed to be good at that type of strategy, get in close and brawl, but when it's a Mei and Orisa running you down, that's not so easy. Tail here with some incredible eliminations. One thing that was interesting there, Tail was opening up so many of those fights in the kill feed, and part of the JV strategy to success there when they got a couple of fights chained together that they were winning, Tail was in the kill feed, but he was on the wrong side. And it's actually a situation where Tail had to swap, made that adjustment from the Cassidy to the Ashe just to allow maybe a little bit more flexibility in setting up angles, maybe utilize the high ground a little bit more. But that's the junior varsity team here forcing the varsity roster to make adjustments and to adapt. So I mean, an incredible performance for them in game 1, and you know, we have bans, we have more adaptations that could be possible, so I'm really excited to see how the series continues.
Yeah, I am too, and you see both teams being able to adapt throughout that entire series. It was a 2-0 on that Ilios map for Varsity, but JV pushes it to 85% in their favor. Definitely a close map there, and showing that they're not here to just roll over to their higher ranked team. They want to win.
Absolutely. They're here to show what it's all about, and that's what we're here to see. We're rooting for Overwatch today, and right now the way to root for Overwatch is to see the junior varsity team take a map. So that's what I'm hoping we get to see as teams are talking now about map 2, talking about bans. I mean, where does that conversation start if you're the junior varsity team? You're coming off of a map on Ilios. You just saw Joking Lizard do some absurd things with the cat. And then, you know, we had Vendetta and Hazard bans in game 1. So, like, those characters are now back on the table. What's your mindset as maybe a coach or even a player on this team?
Yeah, and it's a different aspect when these two teams know each other. They know all the players that they're playing against, so they're definitely going to factor that in. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if from junior varsity we see them banning the Cassidy. That could be a very strong chance with Tail being able to, personal message, or it could be Jetpack Cat. We could see a Jetpack Cat ban after what Joking Lizard just did, and it looks like JV is going to be banning Cat as we go to Eichenwald. OSU is not banned yet, so going to be very interesting to see what they decide to choose.
Right. I wonder if you go for the Sojourn, right? I feel like it's Daniel was definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting on opening some of those eliminations out. You could try to ban something like the Domina, but I don't think that the varsity roster is too worried about the frontline fight, right? They still have the Orisa Mei type of tools. Eichenwald's a map that has a lot more angles. It could be opened up a little bit wider, and that might not be a factor at all. So, I mean, if I'm at the betting table right now, I think I would go Sojourn. If you're the varsity roster, where are you going?
I think Sojourn would be the smart ban. I could see varsity banning Junkrat, because that guy known, as people do not know, is a Junkrat gamer. So I could definitely see them pulling out the Junkrat ban.
I could see some Junkrat on Eichenwald too. Now I'm hoping that we don't see the Junkrat ban, because if we're gonna,
I want to watch him.
I want that guy known on the Junkrat.
Yeah.
I mean, spamming some shots down Eichenwald main choke. That's I mean, I feel like it's a rite of passage in the Overwatch community. You have to get through maybe a dozen of those Eichenwald games getting smacked in the face by Junkrat in a tight choke, and then when you get through, you get like a symmetric car wash or something ridiculous.
And not only that, the Junkrat trap lets you have a lot of flank protection, which we've seen the varsity team likes developing these angles on the side. That trap's going to be able to deny a little bit of that and maybe punish it from time to time, which could actually... I would be okay seeing the Junkrat.
I would be happy to see it, right?
That would be interesting. I've played with that guy known on my varsity team before, and he wants to play Junkrat whenever he can.
And what's awesome about it is you don't get to see a lot of Junkrat in high-level play. It is going to be a Domina ban, so it is a frontline focus ban. Well, that's going to be interesting to see how it works out. But on the Junkrat note, I mean, you don't get to see it a lot in high level. If you do get to see it, you know, that's a different
Yeah.
a different type of Junkrat. That's
Yeah,
not
that's a
your,
gamer.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. They know what they're all about. That's a character that plays maybe more differently between a low level and high level than many others in the game. OSU's chosen attack here. Cat being out of the game. What do you see happening to Joking Lizard? What is the backup plan? I don't know enough about this player to know.
So I know Joking Lizard is traditionally a Lucio player. That's his main thing. So I could see some Lucio brawl comps. Maybe that's why they wanted to lean away from the Domina, being able to spam them out and really punish some of those rotations. But I'm honestly at this point, Wyatt, I'm just excited to see if that guy known locks Junkrat or not.
Yeah, I mean we're all in right now. It's gonna make or break the stream here between the two OSU rosters.
Yeah.
And Eichenwald, I mean, such a funny map. You have so many silly things, whether it's just that TP, that sim TP from main to left side to try to get the jump on the point. People are doing wacky things where they're going over the building, they're throwing the Haswall up there, sim TP, they're going around the right side. And in a personal match, like a varsity team versus a JV team, like I feel like this is the environment that creates those sorts of circumstances, right? If I'm going to do something wacky and zany, this is when I'm going to pull something like that.
You got to be
right?
creative now.
Yeah.
You're on stream, you're playing against your other team. It's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly just interested to see what the compositions do with these bans. Again, not only were Domina and Cat banned, Hazard and Vendetta were unbanned. So we could very well see those players be able to be pulled in here and really get a lot of opportunity to show off some of their mains. I know Walk is mainly a Hazard player, but he is out on the Winston. And you know what I see, Wyatt?
Oh boy.
I see that guy known on the Junkrat.
I see it. And you still have OSU JV, they still have the Daniel Imre in this case, but I mean was running the Sojourn, obviously a talented hit scan player that likes to shoot him down. I mean, to be able to have a consistent DPS like that on top of, you know, maybe not a glass cannon, but a more make or break style of gameplay that Junkrat's going to show. I mean, that's the perfect combination. And if there's ever a place to see it on full display, now would be the time. You had that call correctly for Joking Lizard coming out of spawn on the Lucio, it looks like. But what do you make of the J-Lo Lifeweaver? Is that real?
You know, I'm a little interested on this pick. I'm a little curious on exactly what's going to go on with this, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap as Vibes going for one actually gets shut down, and that's what the strategy was. It was to pull back as they're actually on Curie Loose with the Sombra. I like that little strat at OSU Varsity. I haven't seen that one before.
I totally, if I had seen that, I totally forgot about it. And look at JV with the first pick of the game. Make it the second one as well. That sets the tone. My goodness, running them down too. This is what I appreciate about a junior varsity roster, right? OSU JV absolutely not afraid to press W when it makes sense to do so, and that's that type of confidence that I absolutely want to see in this game. If you didn't have that, this could be a very boring matchup, but so far it's proving to be absolutely not that.
Yeah, and they're just trying to figure out a way, OSU Varsity, to get Walk in a little bit. Raichu's able to punish down Vibes in the backline. Walk trades back with Daniel. A lot of Yuto comes out. That guy takes out Joking Lizard.
I know that guy.
I know that guy. That guy is known. And is going to be taken down by Walk. See, I think this is where OSU Varsity is going to have to be able to make the plays. Walk, we didn't talk about him a whole lot in that first round, but the way OSU JV's team is set up, they have all of these angles. As we see the Junkrat actually swap the Bastion in spawn. Tail going to be able to pick off worst OP player. But Walk is going to have to be able to shut down these off angles that OSU JV really wants to develop on this Winston, and did a fantastic job as Varsity takes that first point.
It's a lot of time on the clock, Fuzzball. I mean, anytime you see 5 minutes in a game of Overwatch, that does say something. And look at, you know, proactive positioning. I highlight things. I'm so used to watching high school Overwatch, I'll be honest with you. You know, we expect this. We got champion level players, we got grandmaster level players in the game. They know how to take some forward space. A little bit of a play there from Joking Lizard to try to make some of it as well. I mean, look at the position here. You would almost think Varsity was on defense as they are fighting for map control almost harder than JV is, as they are starting to force back some of that space.
Yeah, but JV doing a great job at rotating for one another, healing for one another, as we see them immediately shut down angles. Even when you have people like this Joking Lizard looking around, trying to find an isolated duel, not going to be able to find it anywhere. JV's just staying clumped up and making sure they keep the high ground. That's so important. Walk actually going to be able to catch out Wild Plants. Daniel trades back, though, making it a 4v4, and the split's starting to happen. You see this duo pair of the two JV players is actually going to get collapsed on Walk, going to commit the Primal as well. Takes down Lamp, looking for Daniel. Got a little bit lost there looking for the BAP.
This is
trying to pressure it out, and actually JV's going to be able to flip it. They ignore the Primal completely and lose Raichu, but they get both players in the backline as well. really heads up play by JV to not commit on that primal and actually commit to the squishies, as Tails going to win that duel against that guy known, who was trying to maintain that high ground, just not able to, and walk all the way in this backline in their own spawn, looking for something. Is probably not going to be able to find it. Lucky to get out with their own life. And Worst is actually going to get shut down from the railgun from Tail, just being able to develop this angle. And I think a lot of that was on the benefit of Walk being able to take so much space in the spawn of OSUJV. Once again, looking for it. And we have EMP here as well.
I love this EMP. I'm really excited to see how this is going to break down. It's going to be early, Fuzzball.
Yeah.
And look at it leading to a couple of eliminations. OSU Varsity setting the tone. EMP follow it up with the beat drop as well. Orisa doing the best to make a little bit of it, and Daniel even walks away with a pick. Make it 2. Joking Lizard dangerously low as well, but the points captured and point 2 done and dusted. We've got 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock for OSU Varsity to close out the last little bit of this map.
I think both of these teams are playing incredibly well. You have to respect the varsity team's tempo and just the amount of speed that they're allowed to play at and making the first move. They commit 2 ultimates before anyone even touches the point. Nice javelin there from Worst. And Daniel gets a pick as well, as they're going to be able to retake this. But OSU Varsity using their ultimates before JV even has a chance to recontest, making sure they confirm that point.
Yeah, Eichenwald third point defense is such an interesting perspective or just situation to be in, because so often when you get a couple of picks, you want to press W, but that's a hard line to cross. It's hard to push through this choke point and extend that advantage. So OSU JV kind of stuck to wait here until Varsity sets the tone. Orisa looking for the force. Is that an overextension? Worst Overwatch player in a little bit of a tricky situation, but JV able to kite it. Ultimately, so is our Winston as well. Good javelin to make some space backwards. The Terra Surge comes in. Gets booped back, Fuzzball?
Yeah,
That was a very strange interaction.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. We're going to have to run the replay on that one in our spare time to figure out what happened. As Vibes gets forced out by Daniel, actually picked off and traded back. Walk's going to be able to take out Raichu. A lot of picks going on Varsity side as they see the squishy commitment and able to take it down. Even that Bastion Anacore just not able to sustain this dive. And with that execution, unless Wild Pants has a touch, they do not. It's going to mean Varsity has a full cap with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left.
Yeah, definitely a dominant performance. Varsity is a team that if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And realistically, once they captured that first point, they were only on the back foot, not even full weight on the back foot. They might have had half their weight on the back foot. JV responded with some punches, but nothing connecting in a way that's going to cause a full reset or cause the Varsity team to step out of their flow. And you know how powerful it is to be a team communicating on it, calling. When you have that momentum, if it doesn't get broken, it can be really hard to stop you, right?
Yeah, and you can tell that this OSU Varsity team has scrimmed together a lot because of that level of communication, that level of execution, to be able to understand that they all see the same thing. And on the JV side, I think they're playing well defending it, but they're just not able to confirm most of the kills. Like, the biggest time we were seeing eliminations come through was when Worst was landing a javelin on a squishy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think now we're seeing the conversation of that, of what they're trying to adjust. And it's Wild Pants on this Zenyatta, trying to go even more for a glass cannon sort of approach, saying, if we can't sustain your dive, we'll just beat you before you beat us. And
I love that.
I'm interested to see how it works if they do go for it. Looks like Wild Pants going back and forth, back onto the Brig now. A couple of other adjustments, that guy known on the Vendetta, and we also have Worst on this Doomfist as well, which I know is their main character. So should be the strongest when we see them on. As Varsity, pretty much on the same thing we've seen. The Pharah is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, I think, the Varsity team picking up almost more aggressive as well. It's almost like both teams have picked up a more aggressive playstyle. Look at Vibes right now. No hesitation, landing big shots, and that makes it really hard for JV to take advantage of the aggressive playstyle that they're leaning into. A little bit of a Doomfist engage. Doomfist is the person on my mind right now. I want to see what they're able to do. I also am interested in the Vendetta, right? Obviously, Varsity was scared of this. They banned it in Series 1, Game 1. But ultimately, the picks are going back and forth right now, and that's going to favor the defending team, I think, Fuzzball, just because the geometry here, so hard to push through this choke as a team on the attack.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult when you have a Pharah raining down rockets and this Winston being able to control the choke. They need to displace one or the other to try and get an opening, as Worst is going to look in for the Curie commitment, not going to be able to find it. Does start to get their core walking through. Commits on the Curie again, forcing teleport. as Varsity smartly rotates around to the point, letting those cooldowns be committed, and Tail's actually going to find a pick out of it as that guy known falls and goes back to the spawn room, and then their commitment comes in. Being able to kite and re-engage so strong from the Varsity team with Walk and Vibes, getting both players to the back line, Tail being able to follow it up as well. And this is something that we don't talk about with a lot of macro Overwatch very often, is the kite and re-engage. Varsity doing it to a T there.
Absolutely. And just by nature of their composition as well, Fuzzball, I mean, this is a pick your poison situation. Do you want to counter the Pharah? Try to go onto it. You're going to get shot by the Onron, by even the Kiri off angle, the engage coming through here, maybe the aggression being met, but no, and look at it, Vibes coming up with 3 eliminations and even maybe skirting out with their life here. Both players dangerously low HP but able to escape. It doesn't matter what you go on to as JV, you have not addressed all of the problems, so you have to do it very tactfully. You have to engage, get some value, disengage, regroup, and when you're expected to chain 3 or 4 of those segments together in a team fight, that can be very, very difficult. Joking Lizard somehow getting out of that with his life.
Yeah.
And we might have a proper reset from JV, but no! Just as I was hoping we'd get to see a proper engage, picks come through again from our 2 Skyward DPS, Onron slamming shots in from the skybox, and it's another elimination, Fuzzball. We're down to a minute 20 on the clock.
Yeah, and I think JV is really struggling with this third dimension, the verticality that Vibes has over this rooftop. I was questioning the Pharah pick at the beginning, but being able to use the icon wall rooftops as their defenses and just take so many different angles is really giving an advantage as they find a duel here with Daniel, who looks like neither wants to commit their lives and just going to reset as Tail actually takes down that guy known. And again, the verticality of this map, this arch over the main choke, has given so much value to Varsity. They are abusing the map geometry to be able to get their engagements onto Junior Varsity.
One of the signs of a dominant performance is when the other team is coming up on 5 ultimates, Fuzzball, but now's the opportunity to press Q and find the value. One more reset here, there's time for it, especially on the back of a good little exit elimination from that guy known. Gonna send J-Lo back to spawn. And JV, they have a second to take a breath. I hope that they use it. I want to see a regroup. What's the engage? Nano Doom. Are we going in with the on-run? What are we going to do to crack this choke? But we have one more opportunity to try and make it happen. That guy opens the door.
Looking for the commitment onto the Emery, going to be able to catch it out, and J-Lo as well. 2 ultimates used for the side of JV. They're going to be able to crack open past that choke. Just Vibes left on the other side, trying to track it down. 14 HP, not going to be able to get there. And that's going to be a JV take with just seconds on the clock. They're going to be able to move on to point 2.
Man, they did it, and capturing a point is, again, it's kind of one of those success metrics in a game like this, right? I mean, we know how the expected game is going to go. That doesn't mean that we always know the end result, but you have to hand it to JV for keeping themselves in it, even if it does take a hefty ask on the side of the ultimates. 4 ultimates used. Walk going to be forced to retake this high ground right now as Worst Overall is coming. Worst Overwatch player is coming in with the Meteor Strike. A skirmish for the high ground as the cart is just going to walk its way into this part of the map.
Yeah, Vibes looking to commit really early on that cart, maybe trying to jump someone off, but with the amount of eyes that Worst was taking, just no follow-up there, going to get picked off early. And Walk, I think, is going to get pressured down too. A great anti there on the side of Raichu. Not going to be able to get out, but Daniel does get the trade onto Tail, and Dakai known onto Joking as well. Varsity very unorganized right now as they one by one engage on the cart, and it's letting JV get a lot of free cart push here.
There's the barrage, though, and it's punched out of the air by Worst Overwatch player as Slam Dunk Alley-Oop over to It's Daniel, who puts that one in the goal. That guy known does get traded out, and you can see how committed Varsity is in this skirmish for the high ground, and that's kind of what Walk wants to play from, right? Walk setting up his DPS's position so that he can drop onto the payload, have some support. The beat drop getting engaged here by the Varsity roster. They want to end this fight here and now and send JV back to spawn, where again it's going to be very hard for them to push. JV used their momentum well for a couple of fights, but as these eliminations are coming through, back to the drawing board once again. A minute on the clock. Everybody's coming up onto an ult pretty soon for the JV roster, but they don't have them quite yet. So what is the next step? Forward positioning here coming through from our Doomfist player.
Yeah, I think just the staging for JV is really important. They know where that Winston is playing. They need to try and figure out a way to engage on this high ground as the Freya swap comes out from Vibes. Worst is going to be able to scout that out, and they're aware of where this Winston is playing. It's just being able to get there as the punch comes up. Finds 2, but Vibes able to follow up on Raichu and Daniel, who just don't really have any cover as they walk through this choke. Eichenwald, known for its brutal chokes on these high grounds, just making it so difficult, and Worst is trying to get something, is able to get a pick onto Tail, one of the slower characters on that side.
And the live, and the
HP. Why does Doomfist Ultimate do this?
This
It
would
should
be
not
insane.
That's ridiculous.
Getting another pick there would have been massive, but honestly, you don't need it. You just need to stay alive. This is going to open the door for a proper JV fight. They have a slight man advantage, and you can see, based on the position of the varsity roster, who have not lit up this high ground for anything, they've separated, spread out like roaches right now until the re-engage, which Walk is interested in doing so now. He has the Primal Rage available as well. Dakainon is trading out with the Bastion Ultimate, but the picks are in favor of the varsity roster, and now overtime is pending. You have to stay on the objective. Doomfist doing the best to do just that. Pushed off the map! The Primal Rage finding 2, Tail finds a 3rd, and the varsity roster is going to claim Eichenwald for a map 2 victory.
Yeah, just a great job by OSU Varsity throughout that entire map. On the attack, you see them take the tempo and never let go of it. And on the defense, you see them adjust great on point 2 after losing the point 1 opportunity to get a full hold. JV able to claw back into that one a little bit, but
JV
it
played the
doesn't
game.
mean that JV did play the game. That's
So
true.
that counts
Daniel
for
with this nano on Emery being able to get a pick here on their take 4.1. So a great job there. Tracking, maybe? Nope. Okay.
So as you say, Emery right there, I have
Yeah.
to, man, I cannot stand the two names, Emre and Amra. Like Emre,
Emre
it sounds
and
like
Amra?
Ember to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like, I'm like the production team is raving at me because I'm hinting at something so important. It sounds like Ember. The
Yeah.
fire one should be named Emre. We're going to release them at the same time. They're going to have 18 vowels between the two names. But either way, no matter who they're piloting, both teams looking very well. So even in a case where the varsity roster coming away with a win on Eichenwald, JV finding some very confident fights, finding play of the game. I mean, that's the trip back to Stillwater is
Yeah.
going to be talks about that.
For
So,
sure.
Good stuff.
Now, it's not over for JV.
Absolutely.
They're down 0-2, but everyone has won a series 3-2 at some point in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I don't know if I've reverse swept before, but you have.
We
I know
we
you
have.
have.
We
Yeah.
have.
I don't think I was on that team.
They're
I think I was back in
brutal.
prime.
They are brutal reverse sweeps.
But it comes one map at a time. So.
It does, absolutely. One step in front of the other. Man, and I want to talk then about the next map, but I had this thought that I just have to get out there because when we're on point 2, I mean we're in the crazy Overwatch fights. Cat's banned, but joking Lizard looks like he's playing Cat with like a Lucio skin on. I mean he's flying through the air, going all around. So I mean it's so cool that translation was obviously there. It's like, oh, finally these walls aren't a requirement anymore. I can just zoom on around and
That's
be
what he
wherever
looked
I want
like.
to be.
He looked like Jetpack Cat just against a wall.
Yeah, so we got to hand it to Joking Lizard there.
Yeah.
As now it is map 3 time, right? This is do or die, make or break. If you're varsity, this is the chance to shut it out and end it here. But as we said, if you're JV, this is the first step in a reverse sweep process. So maps, hero bans, adaptations, what needs to happen for JV going into game 3?
Yeah, so I think we saw a couple of places where JV did really well. I thought the Doomfist was working really well. They were getting a lot of great picks, worst over there. Being able to engage on that. Really didn't have a lot of follow-up. No dive DPS committed on that. We saw the Vendetta for a little bit. I never saw them quite synced up on what they were going on. I think they were going on 2 separate things. So I think JV could adjust right there, trying to commit on some stuff as we do go to Coliseo here. And the other thing for JV that I hope they watch this stream back because I coach their supports. Their supports are rotating in open space way too much. I've seen them caught out in open space way too much. They got to be more sheltered, especially going against a Pharah and a Winston. Got to be smarter about your positioning there.
Yeah, it hurts, right? I mean, Varsity was doing a great job of making it hurt. They were playing in some egregious positions, and they knew their limit. They were often getting out with just that last 20 HP or whatever it was that they needed to reset. So you got to hand it to them for that, but at the same time, you have the ability to mitigate how much success that type of play gets, right? Playing your cover, not letting yourself get poked out, because this is a game of resources, right? And if you allow your economy to go down, right? If every Suzu's worth $5, if every, Lucio amp is worth 10, you can't go broke before the fight starts.
Yeah, and all of those things, they'll tax you. They'll suck your money out based on how much poke you take, what your positioning is, your rotations. Those things are free. You can do those just by being proactive. You can invest, but you can still get taxed.
The economics lesson is so awesome. This is the off-season league reminding you that tax day coming up here in the next 2 days. So for all the adults in the audience, don't forget to do your taxes.
Do your taxes.
And think about Overwatch while you do it.
Yes.
Because there's an economy there as well. And right now, the varsity roster is looking pretty wealthy, right? So let's take a look at the bans. How do you feel about an Ana ban coming from the junior varsity roster? Is that a Coliseo expectation? Are we expecting a varsity Ana, or what can we make out of that situation?
I've got no clue. To be completely honest with you, even like seen inside, I know the support players that are on varsity. I don't think they're traditionally Ana players, but maybe this is something they've played against them on Coliseo before, and they think the Ana is what struggles because Gustav actually, Raichu, is an Ana player on JV. So them banning Ana is pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean that is. I wonder. It's going to be very exciting to kind of see what the, I guess the counter ban, Doom getting
that
banned,
one
right?
Makes sense.
That was your call. That was your call. That was like JV has something here, right?
Yes.
And maybe if they tweak their composition to cater to it a little bit more, maybe they'll crack that open. But varsity isn't even going to entertain that conversation. But if we kind of keep that train of thought going, like, okay, OSU JV, we want to see them get more aggressive. We want to see them get more active. We kind of saw the vendetta, right? And then, by the way, Vendetta banned in Game 1.
Yep.
So do we have some kind of ball knowledge that JV has that Vendetta gamer in them, right? So what could we maybe pair with the Vendetta to increase the JV activity here?
Yeah.
Burn some more calories.
One that I haven't seen on either side that surprises me is D.Va. I feel like D.Va's in a really strong spot right now. I know that Worst plays the D.Va. I think it'll be a little easier for that core to play around, give a little more defense than the Doom would, where Doom kind of gets rid of that and has more offense, that pick potential. I think D.Va could be a great adjustment for JV here, especially looking to kind of defend some of those rotations we were talking about earlier. But again, the Ana ban from JV, I just don't understand it. I don't know what they know that we don't. I'm interested to see what they'll come out on. I bet we see Raichu on a Baptiste here.
Could it have been a Protect? Is it possible that it was a support Protect? I mean, I don't know. I feel like if JV was looking to protect something, they would have maybe protected that Doom or protected a DPS.
Right.
But I guess we won't really know on stream. That'll come to the post-game press.
I know what we know on stream. They swapped roles. Raichu is now on DPS, and they've moved It's Daniel to Jetpack Cat.
What in the world?
So that's what our thing is they don't want to play against Ana because they don't have their Ana player on support anymore, which makes sense, I guess.
Wow.
I'm just interested to see, and I'm telling you right now, Wild Pants is going to have a rough time.
This does look rough. I mean, to be a Zenyatta in this situation, you are either going to be on the memorial wall or you are going to be held up by your team in the air, because it is a glass cannon position all the way. And then we're going to have these alley cats scrapping it out in the streets of Rome here. And there it is. There's the Zenyatta. Put the jersey in the rafters. That one is going to go down quickly. We'll see if Wild Pants wants to hold on to that. I respect it if you do, because Zenyatta is such a high capability, but ultimately the picks are coming up red. OSU Varsity with multiple eliminations. A little trade there from the Hazard.
Yeah, on to Joking Lizard, too, who was doing a great job on this cat. Tail's going to be able to trade back the other cat, though, and Raichu's going to get picked off by Tail as well. We saw them on this more, like a hybrid dive on Ike mode we saw Varsity on, and now they've just committed to the full dive. Their squishiest character is Joking Lizard on the Jetpack Cat, and we know that guy's not squishy.
That guy's not dying.
Yeah.
I do want an end-of-game death counter. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye out for Joking Lizard deaths on
He's
the map.
He's at 1 right now.
He did die. I actually missed that. And has Daniel died?
Daniel also died. Yes.
Okay, so it's a 1-to-1 cat situation right now.
All cats have died. Yep.
We're waiting to see what is going to be the first domino to fall. Look at the engage, right? So this is where JV's going to have such a hard time. Who do you hit? Who could you possibly try to engage on for the varsity roster, right? They try to get a little bit of an engagement onto the cat. Not going to find it, but Walk, their target is clear. It's onto the Brig. Elimination nearly coming through. Is going to end up being able to survive for just a moment longer. Tail's going to clean that one up on Tracer. And once again, the eliminations are in favor of varsity. We're going to clear out the Hazard and push the cart just a little bit further.
Yeah, it's strange to be Wild Pants in this situation and know you're on the anti-dive support and still be the dive target, because you're just so immobile compared to everyone else on your team. Meanwhile, Varsity has all of these mobility champs, and they're probably still looking for J-Lo over here on this Lucio, maybe Joking Lizard, but I just said the two most mobile supports in the game.
Exactly, right.
One that flies everywhere and one that wall rides everywhere infinitely. Vibes committing on Dakai Known, immediately getting the dash commit there, and Walk getting a slam as well, and this fight's already coming up Varsity.
This is what numberless Overwatch looks like. Genji does get eliminated, and the cat, actually. So maybe, and before checkpoint as well, Fuzzball, so maybe there's a way that JV can stagger this one out a little bit. If anything has surprised me this game, it has been how sustainable worst Overwatch player has been on the Hazard, right? An inconvenient or unfortunate time for me to bring that up as they do get eliminated. But, you know, in any case, caster curse or not, doing a really good job for the JV team to just sustain through the pushes, and J-Lo finding a pick here, or the cat finding a pick there, right? Varsity is, getting 1,000 paper cuts involved, some deeper than others. Is that...
That's off the map.
Oh!
Oh my gosh, what a great heads-up play by Joking Lizard, being able to pressure Raichu off. And now we have a cat fight on the coast.
Do not leave the cat fight.
Yeah, we need this cat fight. Joking Lizard going into the spawn of JV,
using
the ulti too.
Get him out of here.
He flies. Like, this isn't gonna work. He just flies. I don't know. I don't understand what we're doing, but it's like a Lucio fight all over again. As Daniel's actually going to have to go into his spawn. He might not make it. Joking Lizard running him back into his spawn. Being able to look for that as the EMP and Blade are committed. Vibes getting one. Getting traded back out with Worst, though. And the cat using it on a non-flying character, actually able to get a pick there. Daniel, but trying to get traded back. Joking Lizard still wants this. Wants the smoke and is able to get it. Joking Lizard being able to take down that pick. And a very, very scrappy fight from both sides. But no progress being made for the side of JV as those spawns do come back. Finally getting the pick on the walk, who is just stalling the bot. And that's going to be our first JV fight win. And I don't want to say it's because our two cats looked at each other for 30 seconds. But there is a very good chance that that scrappiness of a play that happens when you guys go to the same school could have trolled the fight for varsity.
I mean, it's all this fair in love and war. Two cats in the alley.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it's all about right now. All right, varsity coming back in. I'm the ball player that hasn't gotten to say one word about walk on the ball. He has minefield available here. What is the engage going to look like, right? A little bit of a skirmish on the coast spot. This could be a tricky situation, but somehow that guy is gonna get out of here.
Has grapple able to get back up.
Heroes never die. And yeah, okay. So a couple of eliminations in favor of varsity. They are walking that cart back their direction, Buzzball. So the skirmish kind of continues. Only now does the hazard player get forced out and eliminated, but I don't think that's good news for JV, right? They're losing objective progress throughout this entire time. And I'll tell you, as somebody in the venue with these teams right now, map 3 is the loudest one we've had so far. Maybe it's because it's Daniel finds that elimination on Blizzard.
Trades it back.
What is
that's
that?
awesome. And Raichu drills off the map, just not having the mobility. And I think going back to the macro talk and series talk, that's not a cat fight. JV has less mobility than Varsity's comp does. Well, granted, the Vibes is on this Emery now, which is going to be a little less mobile. But the lethality that JV's team has between the Hazard and the Venture, as well as the Sombra hack, if they're able to jump on a target together, they'll be able to take them out. As we actually see the cat ultimate come out and
The
get...
Hazard's out of here.
Yeah, and Joking Lizard trades with himself, gets 2.
Thank God I'm not champion.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with that guy. We are going to see, again, 2 picks. So Varsity's having a problem right now, right? They can't close out this map. And it's not the end of the world if this map is going to end in 4 minutes either way. But you do have to focus up and tighten up, like you're saying, and fix some of these small errors to really close this game out here. Again, the minefield available for walk. This could be a huge opening play to shut down any progression that JV wants to make, but they're actually going to be the one to make the first engagement. Hazult lands, and it's Daniel actually gets that pick onto Vibe, so that's really good news for the Junior Varsity team. Cart stalled. Here's the EMP.
Big EMP.
A lot of investment.
Finding 2. Commits on the ball, though. The Lucio's able to get out. Walk, trying to survive. Joking Lizard at 1 HP as well, just right above their head. Just once again being able to use that verticality. That guy known is still looking for a punishment and is actually going to get peeled out. JV takes bot control, but with that overextension from that guy known, it means this is going to be a 5v4 as Varsity plans to stage around the checkpoint. The slam comes out from walk, finding 2. Still not using these mines yet, but the Emery ult does come out looking for some damage. Daniel's going to be able to take out Tail on the duel, trying to hit a shot onto the cat, the flying cat, and it's actually all JV right now. Being able to confirm some stuff. Blizzard is going to trade out Daniel, though.
It's the second time that Raichu's gone off the map here.
It's interesting. This staircase, I think, is making him struggle a lot. Just the momentum that sends him up that way, just sends him straight off the map. That guy known is going to be able to pick off Vibes, though. Just very, very scrappy right now. Very deathmatchy.
Yeah.
And that happens in these mobility comps. Everyone's moving around so fast. You never have, like, a coordinated team fight. But right now, it is looking like it's going to be a JV fight win as the stage comes back for Varsity. Joking Lizard's actually going to take out Dan and Tail. 2 picks for the side of Varsity. As I spoke, looking for Wild Pants here, who's looking to sustain, but Joking Lizard can fly in the air and do whatever he wants.
I mean, this is
this brig. It's just such a bad matchup.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation.
Oh, but wait.
Melee into the doesn't
nice.
matter. Raichu's going to find the elimination.
Little too greedy, and Daniel actually able to take down Tail as well. A couple of picks the opposite way now, and just with these mobile champs, they're able to do so much.
Will they get the pick on the ball? This would be a big pick, too.
right? I think they are going to find it,
Yeah.
Fuzzball. And now look at this. With 2 minutes on the clock, the University team making their first real progress onto the cart here. And I think this has been a long time coming. They've been chaining together some decent fights back and forth. It's Daniel dropping dangerously low. Tail's going to find that elimination. JV would really like to get another fight win and really contest the checkpoint capture here. That would be big for Junior Varsity, but right now they've got bigger fish to fry and a cat to handle who's on the flank. Catching the brig, just trying to sustain in the small room. JV is getting picks, Fuzzball.
Wild Pants is going to win this. He wins the 1v2 against Tail, knocks him off the map as well. A great play by Wild Pants, who's actually going to be able to flip that fight on their own. I've never seen a Brig survive on by themselves more than that.
And it's happening in multiple fights, Fuzzball. I mean, Brig is obviously a sustainable character, a character that's able to take advantage of the skirmish. Oh, man, get me out of the dogfight. This is not the Air Force. I don't know what's going on. Here comes the pile drive. It's on to our Wild Pants once again, who's been surviving and so powerful in many of these fights, but is going to get dropped first in this one here with a minute on the clock. 2 JV players down right now. I'd like to see a reset, but it's an engage instead from our Hazard player, pushing very deep into the OSU backline, and I guess going to hang out.
This is not good. There's very few situations where Worst gets anything out of this other than staggering. And it's made it where this Emery's literally just staring him down, knowing he has peel of his entire team.
And that's what happens, right? We have picks coming because of this. The lack of the front line for the JV team is unfortunate, but it does get traded out, so maybe Vibes was just a little bit too confident in that matchup. Jetpack hack low, and Wild Pants is going to win. You cannot take me off the map this time. We are down to 30 seconds on the clock. Varsity is still pushing, but the number advantage is in favor of JV, who gets another and another pick onto Walk and Tail.
Yeah, and just confirming these skills, Daniel has actually been one of the best chase down players on JV's roster in this game. Even with the Venture and the Hazard there, just being able to get a lot of final blows on this cat. Granted, most of them are on the other cat, but definitely a situation as the EMP comes out. He got stunned.
No. I have never seen that. Is that a no? I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it's a visual error.
Visual bug.
But
it
it's
like
overtime ticks away. The cart is in favor of JV, but they have to keep up with it, Fuzzball, and it's a dogfight in the middle of this hallway right now. The cat's dangerously low. A nice shot follow-up from Vibes is going to find the elimination, but JV had a pick onto J-Lo as well. Dagai known dangerously low on the Sombra. It's a skirmish to try to stay alive, and the cart, Fuzzball, you have to get people onto the payload. Ultimately, that robot only being pushed forward by Raichu. The Hazel does come through, but as the numbers dwindle for JV, Varsity, unless
the C9, no touch and nothing there. So honestly, a great effort by JV in that last game. I think shenanigans went on for a little bit too long in the middle there, but JV being able to bring it back, make it a little closer. Varsity is going to be able to wrap that one up. And honestly, I think Wild Pants had one of the best games I've seen in a long time.
Fantastic performance. I mean, absolutely. And I think it started for me, look at that. Incredible little boop there, landing that jab, and then just staying in this room, sustaining themselves.
Playing off the mini too.
Yeah, picking up the mini. I mean, like, that's the situation here, right? That storyline started for me when you're watching the cat at 40 meters in the air, just like, what can you do to me? You're Brig. I'm up here. But Wild Pants is able to really use the kit well, use the geometry well, and come up victorious in many of those situations. So, I mean, I think that was absolutely fantastic. And I want to say kudos to you for shoutcasting such a hard-to-follow match because I was struggling. The shenanigans were very real there.
That was a chaotic one. I mean, it always happens whenever any of those situations happen with two schools playing each other. You know it's going to get a little goofy, especially once you get to map 3. But very fun maps nonetheless, very competitive. Excited to see both of those teams play, and OSU Varsity moving on to the championship against Southeastern.
That's going to be very excited to see. I don't have a lot of details on the Southeastern roster, so getting to see those two teams go head-to-head, I'm going to really enjoy watching that match. And we're getting word that that game, or maybe that game, the next game coming up here, probably with a 3:45 start time here, Central Time. So don't go too far. Stay around. I think we have more Overwatch coming up, but yeah,
I hope so.
That was a really good example of Overwatch State University in play
Pokes.
there. Go Pokes.
Go Winston.
Yeah, nobody loses in that one.
Yeah.
A lot of fun in that game. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More off-season league coming up soon.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Offseason League Championships. This is our third place match, OSU Junior Varsity versus Tulsa. We watched both of these teams play. They did get dropped into this third place match, decided to play against one another. Maybe a little bit for fun, but also to make sure they get who is third. I'm Fuzzball and I'm joined here with Walk. Walk, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Walk to you. I am the tank player for OSU varsity roster.
Yeah, so we just watched him feed on ball for about 10 minutes. If you needed a reminder on what is going on, as we actually see the Sim Bastion mirror on these two teams, it looks like Tulsa is going to take priority on the point here and be able to get a pick, but Daniel's going to be able to trade it back, and the pin comes through for that guy known, going all the way to spawn, doesn't connect the pin, and gets taken out. Worst is going to trade it back, but Loftus just has that Symmetra microwave set up and is going to be able to get a lot of those picks for TU as Spyro cleans up the last few, and that's a Tulsa fight win. I thought that was going to go OSU JV's way until that guy known fed his brains out. Need to be able to connect those pins and not just take infinite damage. As they do try and speed down Walk on this Bastion, who's going to kite out. And actually, OSU took priority of the points. Going to be able to get a flippy because Tulsa was playing so gapped away from the point.
Ooh,
finds
nice
one.
spin.
The lamp comes out. Neb's going to be able to trade it back, though. Spyro with the pick as well. And that means that Tulsa is going to be able to walk in for free. Look for these last couple of picks, just kiting Neb as he's looking for something, not going to be able to find it. Tulsa flips it back, but OSU got a capture during that fight.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to hold close here in order to make sure that they can't clear this corner. SimTP might look for that window. Artillery coming out right now. He's pinning in. Daka unknown low. Okay, he is dead immediately. Wow.
Yeah, some very aggressive charges here from that guy known. Looking for something interesting. Speaking of aggressive charges, this Neb goes all the way into the spawn looking for Raichu. Going to force lamp, trying to get the fadeaway, doesn't quite get it though. Damp getting an environmental kill on Worst as well. And this Sim Bastion comp is causing a little bit of struggles for OSU JV, not being able to get through these chokes. And the Sim Bastion, it's just very difficult to walk through these tight chokes.
Yeah, it looks like both Rhines are coming up on Shatter. They're going to have to be wary of that. Make sure to watch out for the other Rhine becoming aggressive and trying to push into him. Oh, they and we are shattering the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neb teleports up to the top, drops on accident, and shatters the wall perfectly.
No shield needed.
Yeah, and that was after two Tulsa players had already fallen because of just some early aggressive positioning on the high ground. OSU doing a really strong rollout.
Random sim wall.
Yeah. Deciding just to take some space with that outside of spawn, and is actually going to get a decent amount of chunk damage here. The Bastion Ultimate is committed by Spyro, looking for something. Not going to be able to find anything.
Ooh,
but
fine
Raichu. And it's Daniel trades it back out on the Weasel. Looking for the charge, not able to find it. And Neb's going to be able to punish that. But Daniel finds two themselves, being able to get a lot of damage. Three, as Neb and Loftus take down the last two. And it's just Wild Pants here to be able to contest for OSU JV, actually getting a decent amount. Nice fire strikes from Ned to be able to stagger that one out. And now Tulsa once again has the advantage, has the capture. A couple of ultimates online for OSU JV though. They can definitely flip this around. I'm definitely looking at this that guy known Shadow right now.
OSU JV's not going to have speed early though. Oh, looking TP on point. Oh, we got the Lucio. Okay.
But does eat the pin with a lot of damage. Spyro is going to be able to go in from the front with that window. Bastion Ultimate comes out, chunks down the double environment.
Wild Pants 2.
Turnable. Need to be able to have a contested 97%. Lopsis also falls off the map. Maybe a reset. Only two players left for the side of Tulsa as they're getting pressured out just a little bit. Wild Pants able to flip that one on its head as Neb's looking to pressure out the Bastion, not going to be able to. Solo shatters and cancels his own swing, not able to get the pick. JP going to be able to take over the point. Has this window still close to a beat, has the ultimate advantage, but has to chip off 30 seconds as the fire strikes come out and take out Loftus as well. So a stagger on the side of Tulsa with one of their main damage dealers. Going to be hard for them to walk in. They're probably just waiting for this teleport so that they can try and flip the play. I hope that OSU is ready for this. Otherwise, they're going to struggle in this Bastion on the right side. Spyro's looking for something on the angle, maybe trying to find an opportunity. Not going to be able to see anything. Neb gets caught by Lamp, and the chunk happens, but the flip from Tulsa touches the point, not going to be able to do much.
Yeah, however, they're isolated from the Ryan, so the Ryan can't help clean up. Oh, Ryan on point now. Symbol comes out. Window comes out.
Daniel gets a pick.
Denied.
And Borderline and Spyro getting the last two, and it looks like Tulsa is going to be able to win this one as the teleport comes through. And I just think, you know, Night Market on Lijiang is very commonly a Symmetra map. And I feel like, you know, we're both OSU homers. You're a student, I'm an alumni. I'm a little upset that we don't know how to play against Symmetra.
Yeah.
that we don't know that Symmetra's good at TP on point. And that goes for both sides, to be honest, because point flipped like 3 times in the middle of those fights. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say they could have looked to try to set up window there to wait for the TP on point and tried shooting them when they were coming across, but sadly the team got split and got picked off slowly one by one.
Yeah, just a lot of those fights started strong for either team and just started splitting up a lot. I definitely agree. And when you're playing this Symmetra Reinhardt, you want to be a little death ball and just roll over people. But when you start splitting up like that, it makes it really, really difficult. We actually see Borderline loading Spyro into the air on this right side, looking for something.
Yeah, it needs to go aggressive. It needs to go on the bag.
And downtown being able to get that pin. Neb just looking to live on point is not going to be able to.
That guy unknown gets his trade. Now he's looking to pin into the back line, looking for
something.
Whatever, something.
The hell is the worst Overwatch player? Not going to be able to, though, as the collapse happens. And Spyro being able to go on this off angle with Borderline on that cat and be able to take a lot of value winning that first fight for Tulsa. Spyro already at halfway to that artillery ultimate for the Bastion. Looks like OSU JV wants to rotate to white side here. Neb's already here to meet it, though, and it's going to be difficult to walk into against Orion. This has so much map geometry in favor. Hiding a little bit to try and get some value. The flank happens.
SimTP into the Ryan.
Yes. Yeah, that's a choice. That guy known off the map as well.
Lucio gets sniped by the artillery as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be a reset for JV. Tulsa hiding properly and being able to jump on the opportunity of a teleporter on top of your Reinhardt definitely helps to be able to win that fight.
Yeah.
Now, Ned looking for a little cheeky thing, not going to be able to find it as OSU JV walks out. Looks like just off-angling on this side, and it looks like OSU's trying to punish it as Neb's so far in their spawn, trying to get out. Just 30 HP, not going to be able to, and Loftus falls off the map. I'm not sure how that happened. All of a sudden, there's a Lucy on the back line. Milepoint's going to be able to take out one.
Flip?
And now it's only Damp Weasel there, but no one's capped the point for OSU JV. There they go. They start to flip.
That's crazy. Looks like both teams are even on ults. OSU JV coming up on artillery form before TU comes up on it. Both teams are going to have to look to try to block this upcoming shatter from the Rhine.
Yeah, and this could be a big play for Ned here, looking for that slam. As a lot of things happen, we shatter a sim wall.
That guy now got really creative.
And we shatter a flying Lucio. Neb is 1 HP looking for something. He actually knocks off Wild Pants here, I think. Yeah, Wild Pants falls, and both of them fall off the map, and TU gets the flip because of a last-ditch charge. That guy forces the B on shatter. Just needs to live now and try and back up a little bit. Not going to be able to. Daniel trades it out, though, with Damp Weasel and gets a lot of damage onto the Juno as well. Borderline gets to 1 HP as well as the Bastion.
Yeah, sadly, that's going to lead to stagger on the Rhine, though, and the Rhine's not going to be able to come back. They're looking to fight this early so they can get these staggers.
Yeah, just not going to be able to get anything. Tulsa is able to get that regroup from their teleport and be able to instantly get control, and it's just made it where it's so difficult. Only 10 seconds left. They're going to have to teleport through the window looking for it. Is going to be able to get on the cap. Only 2 of them, though. Being a little bit silly. Raichu's actually able to take out Spyro there. As the point's just about to flip, the boom comes out, but the beat's there. Burst still gets the confirmation. Raichu getting a trade back, and that guy known getting a trade as well as the point flips.
Wow, they flipped that? Insane.
Yeah, and just being able to use that Symmetra teleporter to instantly have control of point. And TU didn't make a decision to go on the split team from the people on the core that didn't teleport. It was kind of interesting that all of JV didn't decide to TP. They kept a couple people in there.
Yeah, looks like TU is coming up on more ults than OSU JV, so OSU JV is going to have to get creative, try to make something happen here. before they reach point so they can use that June ult.
Yeah, Bastion ult already coming in. Neb looking for a little flank here. Is almost caught out. Actually saves Drew's life. That guy known being able to live because of the shatter that stopped him from going off the map. That's fantastic. Thank you, Neb, for being a Cowboy fan. OSU JV does end up winning that fight. And Damp Weasel lived, decided to go to the opposing spawn to try and reset, as Neb is back on bridge as well. Tulsa's going to have a reset here, but a stagger would be disastrous here as they will go to a map 3. That guy known just looking to keep some space. He has shatter here. Definitely going to be looking for it. Does a little jump swing. Neb's able to block it. Great block by Neb. As the ping comes in, he's going to be able to catch the Bastion. Not going to be able to take it out though. Borderline takes one as Wild Pants and Worst flip it over.
Yeah, getting points. Simwall's out, blocking all the damage. They're going to have to try to play this safe. But they don't manage to touch.
Yep. So JV wins that round, being able to force us to a map 3 on Lijiang, meaning we're going to control center. And I almost guarantee you we're going to see the exact same compositions against one another. And I would say this might be its strongest map of the 3 for this specific Rhine composition. But actually, we see Loptis swapping off of the Symmetra and going May.
Yeah, that's going to change up the dynamic a lot. Instead of them trying to build up Simbeam, now they're going to be trying to isolate the Rhine, wall him off, so the Bastion can milk the shield and, you know, just elite that Rhine without care from his support.
Yeah. And, you know, we didn't talk about it a whole lot at the beginning of the round. That guy known as a DPS player for Overwatch Junior Varsity. And I know Rhine does a lot of damage. He's not a DPS. So it's the questionable plays we're seeing as we, speaking of questionable plays, snaps off Spyro. Trying to go on that flank on the outside, just not going to be able to. Going a little too fast. And speaking of flanks, Neb all the way back here. But that guy known heard him walking around and decides to match it as the two flanking Reinhardts are looking for something. Neb hitting back into the team looking for something. Weasel's going to be able to take out Raichu.
Able to TP out the worst OW player. Selfish Neb dies. I think OSU has this. Yeah, they have this in the bag.
Yeah, Neb getting chunked down so heavy and actually being able to get picked off. Even though Borderline picks up one on the way out, it is going to mean a JV capture once they get there. If they decide to cap, it took them way too long. We'll talk about that in VOD review. And once again, we see this flank on the Jetpack Cat with the May this time, I believe. She's wrapping on that side.
Yeah, going on the outside, looking for the Symmetra.
Yeah, and just nothing there. Great heal from Wild Pants being able to help on that side. Looking for something. And meanwhile, Dakai Known's in the enemy spawn, actually getting Neb, as Wild Pants gets Spyro as well. Borderline being able to get worse.
Yeah, T's going to have to look for a reset here in order for them to be able to get back to point quick so they can actually utilize all these ults that they're coming up on.
Yeah, definitely need to reset. I think the Symmetra is doing a great job at being able to hold a little bit of an anchor for this OSU JV team. And this flank is being marked very well by Wild Pants, who actually got booped off the map again. Gotta stay on the map on this
First
one.
by the cat, second by Lucio.
Yeah, as that guy known pins in and beats his brains out. Loftus being able to trade it back out. The pin comes in for Neb and catches a Bastion and a lot of damage from the turrets. The freeze comes out.
Not gonna be able to
Loftus being able to catch two. But the trades are coming back the other way as well, with Worst still having a lot of time and just getting knocked out by the Ice Block freeze. Oh, that was a really strong pick that they added. The Shatter gets blocked by the Maywall. Great play by Loftus there. And TU flips, so now just wasting time for the side of...
Oh, B comes out from OSU JV. They might be trying to flip this.
I don't know why. I'm actually so shocked that they used beat there. That was insane.
Oh,
but the picks are coming that way. Maybe it was good enough to. Daniel on the flank is finding two, finds three on this
we
right
are
angle,
ourselves.
and actually finds enough to flip. So even though the beat was maybe a little preemptive, enough for JV to be able to flip it. And this is a faster JV than we saw against when they played Varsity, where they seemed a little reluctant for their plays. Now you can tell they're just going all out. They want to show off if they can. The wall does come out. Neb also has Shatter. They're trying to kite that guy known out. He's getting out pretty well.
TU with the ult advantage right now. They're going to try to look for the Shatter, hopefully trying to break Rhine Show. Never mind, they do not need it. They're actually just cleaning up the team fight pretty clear here. They should be able to win this. Inward out. Just walking
but
forward.
Worst finds two, finds both the backline, and Neb's so low, he's not going to be able to get healed back up in any time. he's pretty much out of the fight as Daniel's going to be able to take out Spyro. Looks for the
Ooh,
thing, is able to follow it up.
yes.
Raichu getting his
shatter on Wild Hands. Oh, but they're not going to be able to confirm.
Raichu with this window is doing a lot of work, being able to take down 2
Gosh,
on
he's
this
just
high ground.
farming
Great
everybody.
positioning,
Jeez.
and sustain Wild Pants through that play. It's just Damp Weasel on there as the cap goes back in OSU JV, and they're going to be able to flip this map. I think that was a fantastic play by Raichu in the end, being able to reposition up there on the high. And with the lack of vertical mobility that composition has, TU just had to stand there and watch the Baptiste rain hell upon their team.
They were never really able to get upon them. That's the only thing that sucks about the sim swap is the fact that now you don't really have something to give your Rhyme verticality where it can actually TP up to the high ground. Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize there was an Ajax there.
Damn, Weasel pulling out all stunts to make OSU JV win.
Yeah, doing a great job there. It was a great job by Daniel. Was doing a lot of good work on that flanking bastion. Great job by Damp Weasel jumping off the map a couple times. And yeah, shout out to JV for their first map win.
Exactly, yeah.
This is a best of 3 for this third place one. So I believe Tulsa will have the pick since they lost. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we are waiting on bans. If you were Tulsa, what are you thinking right now since you dropped that first map?
Tulsa's probably just talking about their game plan, how to work it out the next map. Of course, apparently there was an agreement in between both teams where they're just trying to run the same stuff, trying to have a good old time. But they might look to try to swap something up, make sure to isolate the back line or find a way to, just work it out better.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll even see a cat swap. Who knows?
That would be interesting. Because I don't know about you. I'm all down for silly stuff. But as soon as I begin losing while doing silly stuff, I'm like, okay, let's lock in. Let's play a real comp. I could see Tulsa doing that right now because they do not want to lose, especially everyone's in Tulsa right now. It's their home turf. They do not want to lose to a Bastion Sim comp with their DPS player playing Reinhardt.
Exactly.
That guy known, if you go back and watch this, you're an idiot. You disappoint me on so many levels. But yeah, still waiting on that map choice from them. Trying to figure out their bans as well. And there's a good chance they could ban something in that composition, in the Rhine composition. Maybe Daniel's Bastion there, so that he can't flank and get so much value on those burst opportunities on the transform. Or maybe they're just like, let's ban something silly, like Mercy.
Yeah, just go at it, pretty much, yeah.
Ban the cat, maybe. And for the amount of cat being played, we didn't see a lot of flying Reinhardts. I felt like we were going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah,
saw a lot of flying
Reinhardts,
Bastions, but not a lot of flying Reinhardts. So, yeah. Well, I think Tulsa, for sure, is going to need to adjust. And I think the biggest thing is I think they're getting a little too creative on the cat rotations and a little too consistent on the cat rotations. I feel like with Jetpack Cat, whenever you do these side rotations, you can't do it every time. Otherwise, the other team's just like staring for it, looking for it. And we saw that with Wild Pants. He was marking that a lot.
Yeah, especially, where you want it to be unexpected, where they don't even know who's going to be pulled up next, pretty much. It's almost like a wild card that just pops out of nowhere.
Exactly. And I think they got into the thing of really wanting to be able to just constantly use the cat value and look for that on the lift, on the sides, on the Bastion every single time. And I think JV adjusted to that pretty well. So maybe if they stay that same comp, that's how they could adjust it without having to change a character. And it does look like, as I'm kind of peeking over on production, it looks like we're going to Suravasa.
Ooh, Suravasa
Flashpoint map.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting map.
Yeah. A lot less environmentals, which is nice.
That is true. However, it's going to be, actually it's pretty similar to Legion, in which there's like some high ground, but it's more of if your team wants to play there, your team wants to play there.
Yeah.
If your team wants to play low ground, for instance, if they're running the Symmetra comp, they might just want to take point, try to bait somebody low ground, and then look to take high ground that way.
Yeah, look to blow someone up or catch someone unexpected with those teleport rotations.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the strongest things of Symmetra specifically. As we do hop into map here, looks like they're loading in right now. Trying to figure out exactly what's getting banned. I think I saw a Zarya ban for the side of OSU, yes, and a Cassidy ban for the side of TU. So notably, neither of these heroes were played in the first game.
Exactly,
And no bans, but those bans are committed on it.
Yeah, so hopefully they're trying to take this game more seriously so we can actually see some real gameplay and not see that guy unknown feed his brains out.
Yep, well, he's not on tank anymore, so that's a good sign. He has less HP to feed, at least. Looks like they have a couple of shuffles. We see Mizuki. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of Mizuki today. As well as Neb on that Hazard. So.
I have never seen Daniel play Vendetta before. That guy is a hit scan player. Why is that guy unknown on Cat?
Well, you know, they're trying everything. They're feeling good. He's actually going to be on Wuyong. We've got the Symmetra TP. I think that's going back to the Venture. Yep.
Okay, running with Vincom.
Yeah, so...
That's always fun.
Yeah, definitely a really important on the engagement here. And we talked about this in your guys' game. Really good shots from Mizuki. Nice job by Worst. He does get trained out by Ganymede, though. We talked about this in the game that OSU Varsity and JV played. But Worst on this Doom is very offensive and being able to punish a lot of people, and was actually doing a pretty good job on Icon Roll by themselves, but had no follow-up, had no DPS that could follow up with that. And this Vendetta Venture is just going to do exactly that, is that follow-up. As we see Loptis, reset here. JV does get the first cap.
Yeah, where it's good to play offensive. However, you got to worry about your team and their position as well. Make sure that they can follow up and that you're not just playing into the enemy team for free. So they can just use their CDs to burn you pretty much. Especially with that Mizuki, he's just going to be able to chain that Doom, chain that Vendetta, and really disable OSU.
Yeah, notice how OSU is very, like, they're avoiding the Mizuki. Ned's going to be able to trade out Daniel after Raichu gets a pick. He tries to commit back here. Is leaving for the burrow.
Yeah, he's just going to have to try to get out. Okay, he is dead.
Yeah, goes on Neb, but JV does keep the flip for a little bit longer, gets it up to 60%, looking for something worse. Is going to be able to catch out Mizuki. That's a big pick there.
Yeah, Neb should be looking to try to
and another punch on the Lucio, being able to take that out as well. Look to engage on the Zen, is going to be able to blow it up here.
Okay, they might be able to try to flip this here. They're still trying to fight this engage right now. Yeah. Mizuki almost back. Bubble out.
The re-angle does come out, and it looks like OSU JV, as I say that there, they still have point control. They flipped it back in the middle of this, so there's been 2 flips in one fight. Ned is going to be able to start cleaning this up, and actually commits Hazard on an already won fight, in my opinion. But is going to be able to clean this up and get the flip. It looks like JV's going to be able to get a reset, and then Zenyatta here from Wildcard. I think that's going to be a very interesting one to watch because it's so fragile and so immobile against this dive.
Yeah, especially with this comp in which everybody else is mobile. The Zenyatta's kind of just up in the air where he has to get his value, and if not, he's just going to get dove-bombed by the Hazard,
the
whatever.
Tracer that just sticks to the Ganymede,
he gets pulse bomb before he can even bring out the Trank, so now they have the main support ult advantage.
Yeah. Daniel does get the trade back though. Now pressure on the Mizuki, trying to survive. Only 30 HP left, and he is going to get traded out. And the picks start going JV's way on this engagement. Both supports going down.
They're going back to point.
Yeah, Neb looking to survive, maybe for a recontest here, as Ganymede's back as well. So Tulsa definitely has a solid touch here. Loptis forced to drill on and use Burrow. No cooldowns with only 70 HP.
Coming back. Lucio probably trying to whip the beat here so they can try to flip point. Yeah, Lucio beat comes out.
And minimal HP on this Venture. What a great beat as the Tranks come back in the opposite direction. But still, maybe too little too late. The Mizuki ult's also committed. Worst gets a pick on a damp Weasel as well.
Yeah, we're going to have to try to look for the Zen here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Hashop and Zen. Okay, wow, Ganymede gets traded out. Doom Punch misses. I think OSU is just going to look to go back, regroup, and try to take this team fight again.
A really fast reset, and that's because of the Ganymede stagger that Raichu got onto this Tracer. The engagement comes back in at 4v5 advantage. Neb's actually going to catch out that guy known. The punch does land onto the Lucio, but the picks are all going Tulsa's way. They're going to be able to take this first point in what has notably felt like the longest point one of a flashpoint I have ever seen. It does look like it's going to end up Tulsa after like 5 fights.
5 fights, multiple ults, and Daniel actually Ajaxing his ult as well, meaning that they're not going to have a Ven ult for this upcoming fight. They're not really going to have anything besides Raichu's ult. And Tulsa, all they have is Pulse Bomb right now, so it's going to actually be a really scrappy fight here.
Yeah, Neb trying to angle on this right side building. Getting a lot of pressure. Barely survives. Actually being able to force the Tracer recall on Ganymede, who doesn't have a lot of resources to get out. Could be caught out here. Does. And Raichu got a pick in the duel as well on the opposite side. Neb's going to be able to trade it back though. And Spyro getting a trade as well. As Daniel and the rest of the gang try and walk on to Tulsa's core. Just trying to sustain right now. It's not going to happen though. Neb's denying so much. Daniel left in the back line by themselves. And it looks like Tulsa might be able to commit here, or contest here. Be able to get that flip as Worst goes down.
Yeah, Tulsa manages to come back before OSU get the flip, and now they are up whenever it comes to numbers. At that end, they're up whenever it comes to ults as well. Coming up on B, Hazel, and pretty much just everything.
Yeah, really far up too. TU's a little bit more mobile than OSU is, just by a hair because of the tracer. And it's really showing with the way that they can use contesters. Ned tries to pop the ult in the salon. I don't know if he lands it on anything, but the engagement's coming out nonetheless. Ned finds one, Loftus with another, trying to commit onto this Doomfist. Daniel's able to trade back one, but Loftus just trying to survive against Worst on this Doom. Not looking great though. And Daniel's going to be chunked out in the backline, and all of a sudden JV's picked apart in their own spawn. Tulsa having a dominant point 2 after barely winning point 1.
Ooh, Dumo comes out. He's going to look to try to land on points so he can try to bait people back, I believe.
Yeah, nothing there. Got out. Looks for the punch. Not able to find it, though. Hazard very low. The beat's actually forced because of the chunk on Hazard. Neb wrapping around the side, looking for the brig here. Wild Pants was doing a great job on brig in the last series. Is going to get chunked out by Neb, though. And JV gets the flip, but has a severe numbers disadvantage here.
Ooh, makes him have to pop Mizuki ult. Both Mizuki ults actually come out here.
But the Mizuki doesn't live through his. And Tulsa gets picks on both sides for JV on the attack and the defense. Raichu, the only one left, just looking to stall the point, and is going to get a little bit of a venture diff there from Loftus. And the second point for TU, they win one more, and they'll take this map and force us to a map 3. A couple of shifts too on JV's side too.
I believe Raichu said he's the best Vendetta in the entire Oklahoma region. Loftus putting in that work though. We might have some competition whenever it comes to that.
For sure. Yeah, best venture in Oklahoma. Well, both ventures are dead at the lip of the fight. Daniel trades one back though, so a little bit of an advantage here for JV. As Daniel back on this Sojourn, that's what he's known for. Being able to just have so much pressure in this zone of control on these players, getting a lot of value. And it looks like with that swap and that adjustment, yeah, OSU JV is going to be able to take this first cap point. And I think this is a good swap. Both the Juno swap and the Sojourn swap, I think, are both very important for the side of JV.
Exactly. That Juno is going to be great at keeping range whenever it comes to those DPS, just hindering a lot of their dives. The only one that's really going to be able to catch her is probably this Tracer, so she's going to have to look for a flank. The hit scan is going to be a problem as well, in which they're going to have to just not play in his sightlines at all, or he's just going to beam them. Hazard coming out. Oh, gets punched by Doom. Doom gets forced early. Doom's just going to have to look to back here. He's going to get chunked down.
Kiting back. Nice kite of the Hazel, but Juno's going to be able to live here. Worst actually gets a pick onto Damp Weasel as well. Traded back with Zach Unknown. With plays going back and forth. Daniel going to 1 HP, and Worst looking for something on the Empower. Not going to be able to find it. Loftus finds 2, and Ganymede as well. Ganymede as well getting another pick, cleaning up the rest of it. And all of a sudden, Tulsa's able to flip that. I thought OSU did an okay job kiting, but Selfish Neb's Hazard ult being able to catch Worst in such a worst position. Yeah, I'm pretty funny. I'm a funny guy. And Loftus here actually going to be able to catch out Wild Pants, getting a little too aggressive. Gets the trade, but I think if you're Tulsa, you're okay with that trade. Neb's going to get punched into the wall, though. Now I'm no longer taking that trade. That's not a damn good deal. Worst finding another one onto Damp Weasel, and all of a sudden, JV has taken this opportunity to be able to catch out a quick rotation into an opportunity.
Ooh, Mizuki's actually able to kill Brig in the backline, though.
Yeah, and that's the second time in a row Wild Pants has been caught walking back from spawn.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
In a row, because that's how that last fight started, too. Neb's here trying to isolate something. Sees Daniel on this off angle, forces the slide out. Worst also in here, and Tulsa just has such advantageous position. Ooh, but as I say that, Worst, that was a great punch. Almost forces out the Lucio as well, still looking for it, and is actually going to be able to chase it down as well. Worst getting 2 picks there. The Hazard ult comes down, is going to find the Venture, who's stuck in ult. Ganymede's able to pressure that one out. Loftus trading as well. Neb getting very low, and Worst finds a third.
Ooh, and they see
on their back. Oh yeah, and the point. I wasn't even paying attention to that. It was just so deathmatchy. But yeah, OSU JV being able to get that point, keep them alive as they go to this next one. Tulsa's going to have a little bit of an advantage here. for getting to point and staging.
Yeah, they're going to have beat for this OC coming up here. However, that guy unknown is actually coming up on his own Ray, so they might just want to try to play this slow, try to build Ray, and just Ray whenever they beat.
Yeah, I like that play. I think that's a good strat, and we'll have to see exactly what they do. I think right now a lot of JV's plans, they sit on the back of Worst making some really big punches, and he's been able to do it in a couple of these rounds. Wildpant's actually catching out Loftus in the back, and I think Tulsa is banking on exactly that, the Mizuki snare, just catching out Worst.
And the Juno Ray comes out, but they beat back?
They do beat back.
Oh,
Daniel
the
gets a
actually
pick
got
too.
picked.
Yeah.
Wow.
The OC comes in, getting chunked down. A lot of good shots on the side of JV, but Tulsa got the flip. They're already 40% onto this point, even though the Hazard ult gets committed. I don't know about that one. Ganymede comes back as well with the recall.
There's just so many ults going around, dude. This is one of the most chaotic team fights I've watched in a while.
And what a heads-up play by Worst, knowing that he has the block, the Vortex block perk. He eats the pulse off of his Wild Pants.
Really? I didn't even know that.
His
Jeez.
Wild Pants dropped the shield, and he blocked and ate the pulse. Really heads-up play.
Insane plays from Worst.
Yeah.
Worst going down main. He's going early.
Nice
picking his
play.
bin.
Yeah, really good heads-up play. Man, this character's silly. I see why you guys brought him. Daniel also getting a pick. I think this is something that Tulsa is struggling with right now too, is Daniel has now gotten this angle creator in Sojourn with very little fall off, just being able to constantly poke, and it's giving a lot more opportunities for both Raichu and Worst, as we've seen. They just need to be able to engage on the score. Neb's actually going to be able to take out Daniel as I say it. Worst looking to trade out with the Kiri. The teleport comes out though.
Ooh, Rally coming out as well, stunning this Hazard.
Yeah.
Hazard's going to have to get out. He is half HP, no armor. He just... Wow.
That's that
okay.
one. Doesn't get a touch though.
Yeah.
But there is a touch from Ganymede, so 3v3 situation.
Yeah, if they're able to
They
stall
are
out
forced
long
to
enough,
touch. Worst being able to take that one down. Now it's the Venture who's in Burrow. And just stalls for such a long time. Times the Burrow wrong. On the punch. Might have a recontest here. Yeah, Ganymede's able to get out. This is good communication by Tulsa right now. They're alternating touches really strong. But they aren't able to get it back. But I think that was a really good effort by Tulsa, but they need to be careful because now all of a sudden it's match point, get series point for JV if they win this one. And they need to adjust fast. They're making some swaps. We see Spyro now. Oh, nice!
Yeah, Doom's looking to get cut out. Nice wall by Selfish Neb. Coming into it now.
Getting another one as well, finding Daniel. And OSU JV just crumbles after that wall isolates their Doomfist. Worst has been putting in so much work for them. As soon as he goes down, the rest shatter. Tulsa having a dominant fight win on this 5th fight.
Wow, I'm going to actually have some competition on Hazard.
Yeah, this guy's a gamer. I like Neb. He plays Ramatra though, so I don't like him that much. I'm just kidding. Raichu actually trying to get caught out as well, overextending a little bit. And JV's got to be careful. That's how they've lost a lot of these fights, is they just overextend without paying attention to the positioning of Tulsa. Tulsa has a great job staging and being ready for players to walk in regular spots. And I think that's why they struggle with the Doom a little bit as the Hazard comes out.
Doom's not really going to be able to contribute too much to the fight. He's actually all the way caught out. However, this Hazard is in the middle of the enemy team. He gets caught out by Daniel. Beat drops. Kinsune Rush as well. Both support ults down.
Wildpant's just trying to live. They're collapsing on the back line, but still, it means Tulsa is going to get the flip. This gives OSU JV another chance to be able to reset a little bit because of how hard that they committed onto the back line. Meanwhile, OSU's playing with house money right now. Even if they lose this fight, it's okay because they have the point flip. And Raichu's actually going to make a pick here, looking for a second one.
Ooh, actually get 2 picks. If they look stabilized, yeah, they're probably going to be able to bring it back. Raichu's ult comes out, hitting Hazard. Hazard going on life support pretty much, being chased down by Brig, getting off the map.
That was a massive play. I thought Tulsa made the right play by jumping the back line and ripping them in spawn, but the lack of synchronization on re-engaging on the players left on point meant that OSU JV actually had time to respawn and get back to that point and made it where OSU JV was able to flip that. So great job by OSU JV. really, we're coming down to last fight territory here. It's do or die for Tulsa.
Yeah, Wild Pants actually coming up on their ult. OC's actually going to have the advantage with this ult as long as they pop it before Tulsa can get theirs online.
Yeah, just this rally, probably waiting for something to catch out a little bit. Maybe this Venture that's just engaged in their backline, but only a few seconds left. Have to be able to touch the point. Worst is going to be able to find one. Sticks Wild Pants, but the trades are going OSU JV's way as the timer's ticking down. Only one player left. It's Spyro. Has to make a miracle. It's not going to happen. And OSU JV is going to be able to take our third place match, walking in as the 4 seed to today's LAN, being able to walk out third, making a climb up and having a showing. And I gotta say, worst having a showing. Worst Overwatch player not living up to his name at all in that series, being able to ball out on the Doomfist.
Exactly. He flipped a lot of those fights, just playing well with his team, looking for all those punches so his team could go in and capitalize on all of the stuff.
Yeah, and in both games, Tulsa came out firing in the beginning of those maps, winning map 1 of Lijiang, and then winning the first 2 points of that Flashpoint map of Survasa. And OSU JV is able to turn it around, being able to adjust on the fly. Really great heads-up play from them. Yeah. And they are going to be your third place placements of the off-season league, which is pretty exciting for them. Exciting for OSU players to see that as well. We want to see them succeed. And Tulsa's going to lock in at 4th. So great job to both of those teams on fantastic seasons. With that, though, we're going to be setting up for the championship. OSU Varsity, that's you, versus Southeastern. And I believe, I don't know if we're doing a best of 7, best of 5. I think they're still talking about it. Best of 5. It'll be a best of 5 show, and it'll be coming here very shortly. So don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Offseason League. I'm Gustav, and I'm joined by Fallen himself.
Yes, how's it
TU's
going?
Overwatch coach. You may have just seen our teams duking it out for third place. So it was quite the fun match. But we have finals coming up here with Southeastern against OSU varsity, which will be really fun. I'm a little biased towards OSU, as you know.
Of course, coming from the OSU side, right?
Yeah.
I will stay partially neutral.
No, I will too. OSU and SE actually scrimmed very recently. I think it was a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
So it's going to be really cool seeing how they adapted from that scrim. That scrim, I was there alongside watching it. It was neck and neck the entire time.
Yes. Both these teams are very competitive throughout the season. I know last time they played, I believe it was a 3-0, 3-0 OSU varsity, I believe. Someone could quote me on it. Maybe 3-1. Both teams very good. Kind of depends what they're looking to play. Do you remember what each team was playing, what they were looking for?
So SE likes to run on. I know, like, especially I got hit by it. They really like to play a dive. Sometimes they'll be on double flex with Tracer Genji. But they also have a noticeable Ashe every now and then.
Sure.
I've seen their tank player obviously do Winston a lot. I've seen them on Sigma, a couple other things.
Sure. I would say pretty versatile. It can do a couple different things. Is what I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah. Needless to say, I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm really excited.
Yeah. What was like OSU? What are we looking for more from them as
for OSU? Walk our tank. We gentlemen to him not play D.Va into our team, but we could see him playing D.Va here today. He's been playing D.Va, Domina, Hazard, and occasionally been playing Mauga because Mauga just doesn't die right now.
Yes, really good into some of the more recent meta compositions because a little bit of Kiri Lucio starting to fall off. Not really, still very strong, but you can play other backlines, and if you play other backlines, Mauga's very good into disrupting some of that. So
on the DPS side though. For hit scan, it's going to be Soj, Cass, and maybe even a little bit Bastion. I've seen Tail be pulling out the Bastion as the anti-Vendetta Zarya device.
Okay.
And then we've seen as Vibes playing the Sombra. I've seen him on Vendetta a few times, and the occasional Venture too.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Venture, we actually do get some bans coming in. OSU just banned out the D.Va, which you were just talking about, which I find a little interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to play Hazard then.
Sure,
that's my guess.
Sure. Hazard, very strong. Actually, TU was experimenting with a lot of Hazard towards the end of the season. Hazard plus Vendetta is just...
It's so strong.
Hazard slashes in, Vendetta goes in, comes from an off angle, something blows up and explodes. And then we also got the ban out from SE with the counter ban on Venture. I'm actually not sure who got the ban first, but one of them banned first. I think it was the D.Va and then the Venture.
They were just too inspired by my Venture game.
Exactly. They saw the last game, the double Venture, and they're like, get that out of here. We don't want to deal with it.
It was kind of gross.
So we'll see what we're looking at. We're heading into Ilios.
Yeah, I can expect to see Lucio Kiri from Oklahoma State's side. However, Joking Lizard has been dabbling in Cat, especially on this map. Okay. So,
SE has played a few different things. They did play Cat a lot with Cat Domina stuff. I don't know if they'll be playing that on this map, and looks like we're about to be starting, so we'll find out soon.
Yeah, I like Lijiang a lot more than Ilios, but Ilios is definitely my second favorite control map.
Well, especially if you're going to be banning D.Va and playing Hazard.
Oh, yeah.
Ilios, like, fantastic Hazard map. Lots of small chokes. You can play out for the wall, play out for lots of slashes. So, should be good to see. Let's see, as we're loading out into what looks like Lighthouse.
Yeah. They could see a Freya. I've seen Vibes play, if they're playing double, like no main dive, they'll play on the Freya as well on Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Here comes the Bastion from Taylor that I was talking about, though.
I'm kind of curious how you're going to force Bastion into this map, because this map's really close, hard to play.
So what they do is they play the top high ground and just sit Bat and Bastion up there, and the Cat and the Hazard just get insanely active.
Okay. So you're letting the Bastion kind of take down the core while your Cat kind of plays in, and then once you get level 3 perk on Bastion, that Cat Bastion is strong.
It's going to be really hard for OSU, though, because SE's rolling out on the Orisa with the Juno Brig backline. Trying to stuff their dive a lot.
As we see.
Big TP.
I look out, I mess up the TV just a little bit. Are they sticking the sim? Oh, interesting.
I'm surprised about that, too.
I'm not sure how it'll play.
Vibes swapping to Sombra. Their Hazard Sombra and Cat dive is going to be really strong.
Yep. I know Sombra, big comfort pick.
TP on the high ground of the back and Bastion. Tail picks off the sim.
Yeah. Bastion look for a couple kills, goes to the form. Looks like they went for a TP engage, did not quite work out for them. Bastion Hazard very good at doing anti-TP engages. However, this sim is going to keep them out of the way of the Sombra, so we'll see how that works. See if Sombra can get some value out of that.
Yeah, I don't think SE was ready for their entire team to come heal for the Sim TP. It was really well done.
Yeah. So as we're walking into this next fight, we'll see if they go for a different TP. We do have the Sombra. He is going to get scouted. As we're walking up with the Orisa, see if they can get some sort of engage going. All right, we got a TP. Is it going to be a full team? It is. It looks like they're rushing on the backline, and OSU properly kiting this out. Putting for a lot of space. There you go. There's a cat. You're talking about. He does feed. He does die for it. As SE and OSU kind of trade out. Although a lot low on HP, Fashion Form comes in late, and we'll clean them up.
Yeah, we just took too much out of the trade, which put a lot really well into OSU's favor.
Yeah. Looking at this next fight, do you think they'll be going for another TP stuff, or?
Maybe they've learned their lesson now, but I honestly think they should because I don't think they know that Bastional is up and available.
Yes. Up very, very quickly. With Bastional, so let's see what happens. We're looking for that. Other than that, there's nothing on this fight. See if they go for the same neutral.
The Cat's trying to mark their positioning on third. Looks like they're all stacking high ground. Swapping pure zones instead of
yeah, so they have a really engage. They go for the TP, going on for points. With even Bastional, be able to distract them a little bit, force them out. Good hits on the Orisa, and gets the Sim. With that Sim kill and getting on top of the bridge, looks like OSU just going to close in on them and clean up this fight. These TPs seem a little sketchy.
I liked the Sim pick at first, but now that they've been punished for it about 3 times, I'm starting to think about swapping to maybe something more
Allocate, known as a really strong Genji player, has somewhat of a venture in the Tracer, kind of on the sideline. But seem a little bit odd to stick these full team rotates that just get counted out pretty easily. So, see what we're looking at for this team fight.
They keep trying to fight in these small rooms against Hazard and Bastion. It's really not working well.
They don't full commit, and we get the cattle. Takes the Orisa off the map. Orisa was fortified, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to get the Orisa off the map. So it's another team fight 1 for OSU.
Catch you later.
Yeah, they're gonna have to touch here. 98% for OSU.
Yep. We get the rush up. See if we can touch. We get rallied. There's one over this team fight. With the cat, playing a little bit aggressive. Over 5 ults.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Ryan as a
yeah, it's probably just a quick get back to the charge is a good way to clear a long distance. Looking to this next guy, looking at EMP, already kind of starting off, getting on top. Sombra gets the EMP, does die for it. SE trading out pretty efficiently here. See if they get the kill on the Shrine, they might be able to win the team fight. However, they don't. They do get the Tracer. I look at it. Not like this. A little bit interesting to me. And then OSU going to clean up the fight. The fight losing too early.
Yeah, watch it to get for 3. Being able to just live that entire fight is why he was able to flip it so easily for them.
Yeah, and actually still not flipped yet. There's the overtime. Looking for Fashion Form. Yeah, gets the stragglers, and that'll be first point OSU.
Yeah, if I'm SC here, I want to play somewhere where I can try and look at the map, or maybe even just poke out their cat. I know that Emery's been trying to do it, but it might just not be enough.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sim and I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's like pretty hard to 3-2-1 full team TP onto. And so I would love to see either the swap or the sim play a little bit more for her own team. Do lovely to see the sim TP out, put some pressure, maybe mark the Sombra because I'm not quite the Sombra's kind of playing for free even though they're TPing. I don't know, see some more of him, although I imagine he'll be playing Genji.
Yeah, it's so difficult because Walk is insanely good at Hazard. It's definitely his best character. He's very good at locking down spaces for OSU to just go on with a Bastion BAP pocketed.
Yeah, so walking this next fight, looks like we will be is the swap onto the Genji, back onto the Sombra. You think this Genji swap gonna work out?
This Genji, it should be good. It's not entirely good though because the Hazard and the Sombra can both just punish this Genji for his engages.
Yeah, it's a good point. We'll see if he's able to get value out of it. Alcott is a really good Genji. He's cut off first. So Cat gonna get clean up on the Genji as the rest of OSU starts to walk in. And looks like Cat going for some of that value, and we're just going to kind of get a free team fight for OSU. Genji dies. And he's immediately off the Genji.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, Tracer any better? Oh, never mind. We still got a team fight. We're still pushing. Maybe Tracer was get back early, or we're so low, no cooldowns. Still trying to walk it in and force it, but I wouldn't be surprised if OSU, over the long part of the team fight, we do get the trade on the tanks, but this should be a clean up for OSU.
Yeah, OSU, like, I think SE really wanted to try and poke out the match, and that seemed overextended, but exactly what OSU wanted. Then Hazard and Sombra were able to block them with that.
Did seem a little interesting to see committing to the team fight without their Genji. Maybe just relying on Tracer to get back, but usually Shin's one more time to set up. On to the Reaper. Looks like okay.
I like this pick a lot. I like this Reaper pick. I think it's really good into the Haz and the Bastion.
Yeah, I think it's decent. The only problem is that he's not going to be able to go on top of this cap. And we'll see, but he does prevent a great walking his next team fight, we start off with Bastionals. Looking to see some as well, play Bastionals 1, 2, 3, very classic. So walking to the team fight, SE still really low from this Bastional, and it looks like they aren't going to be able to stabilize, and they're going to lose from there. Looks like Hazard onto this Reaper, no raid, be a kill.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because Vibes has the ability to just scout out what their team's planning to do before they know that Vibes is there. And then every time he gets these engages, he's just getting out kind of for free with Translocator. I think if we
Yeah, we're looking at a 4 ult fight on both sides next fight. Probably looking at, there's the EMP. However, it doesn't really catch anyone, everyone inside. As we get another ult on, and the Hazard does get the chance to follow. Like your EMP kind of just win team fights for you, but they do trade out the rally. So OSU with a 2-4 ult trade, they'll win this fight as well. Although, some stragglers, they're looking to touch the point. Looking for OT. Alakande not going to be able to build up his ult this team fight, and that will be it. Cat does get the clean, and we're going to save our both our windows for this point.
Yeah, we'll save it for Overwatch 3, I think.
Actually, Overwatch 2 now. We're back to Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We'll see if we get Overwatch 2 again.
Something you can really notice about OSU is that they're really good on this comp specifically at going first. Like, every fight, it was them being the one that engaged for during Ruins. And SE just didn't really know anything to do about it.
Yeah. No, there's some good play from both teams. However, OSU really doing a good job of, even like early on in team fights, just kind of controlling. You notice they were kind of spaced out and playing around the TP engages very well. So even when they weren't playing first and they were looking for some of the TP stuff, we were still able to beat them to it. So
if I'm OSU, if I'm SE here, a couple of OSU's not as great maps. Eichenwald, they don't have a very strong Eichenwald, but they have been. What they do is they run double hit scan on it, and it's really annoying for whoever they're trying to be poked against. Or they go New Junk City because I've never seen them win on New Junk City.
Which one, OSU?
Yeah, OSU.
Yeah, it is a tight and close. Although they have the Hazard pretty decent, but I could see it getting walled out by the Orisa onto that point. Oh, the camera died. Do you want me to go fix it? Sure. If you'll give me 2 seconds, quick technical difficulties, and we'll be right back. And then we'll update you on what's going on with the maps. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Just to catch you up, a little bit that happened. SE went ahead and picked Havana. So we'll see how that goes. They picked Havana, banned Widow. Sorry, vibes. And then OSU with the counterban.
Yeah, I don't blame him for the Sig ban. Sig's obviously very strong on this map.
Yes.
I play a lot of Domina if it's not Sig on this map, so I can expect to see that from Walk as we're seeing now. And the Mei from Vibes. I love seeing him come out on this Mei. It's really inspirational.
This is actually what we play on this map, except for the Bastion, a little bit more unique. Play a little bit more poke. The Mei and Domina, or Megan and Sig, both very good. I'm looking at the Ram Reaper.
I like the Ram Reaper, but no speed with this comp is going to be really interesting.
Yes. I don't know how the Reaper. I mean, you can get on top of the bat.
Oh, they might be close holding.
That's true. That's true. We'll see how that goes. Overwatch 2, not really known for close holds.
Yeah, I've done it a whole one time.
Exactly. They added that top house area, and in Overwatch 1, you used to be able to hold your left side with your Diva Lucio, right? That's why you ran by Diva. But you no longer have to access that. We'll see how it goes.
They're all swinging out right, left side here.
And then Bastion with the Thorn. Does force the Thorn from the Ram, which means the Ram will not be able to hold space from here. And Dominant just going to walk for free. They do get the Lucio though. Reaper is showing his value. Trades up the Lucio, but he's going to respawn quickly, and SE is down on resources. This Ram, yeah, there goes the Reaper. No raid. Looks like we get another form cycle from the Bastion, and that will be a clean up first point. I typically don't really see first point holds that I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what maps you can really do it on nowadays. Maybe Dorado, but like they still have the top window.
Yeah. There's some arguments for it on Realta. You can actually hold spawn
I can see that
pretty well. But one of the biggest things about the spawn hold is that you run Lucio or Juno to get you back for a second team fight, so you can get 3 in this point. We will not be seeing that from SE. Likely just 2 points. Those might be able to retest.
I do like the Wing pick for like forcing out a bunch of pokes in displacement, but I don't know. We're on the Genji now, though, instead of the Reaper.
That's true.
Sojourn.
I don't know why he's not on it in the first place. It's really does comp, except the Mei. He plays it well, and he plays in his career. He plays it well, too. Must be something that scared him whenever he plays overseas. We'll see you walking into this team fight. We already have the Mei ult. Already there. Looks like he's throwing it on the Ram and just burning him. No form. And there's GG's. First ultimate built, and first fight won. Or sorry, second fight won. Not that.
This is not really good for SE. They honestly got a way to either force out this Mei ice block or maybe just find an angle on his bat for their main healing.
Yeah, they need more time, and OC with the speed is just going to kind of outdo them. Their Ram is close to the dominant, but not into that. And so without speed, you're right, it's going to be really hard. And they, like I said, they need that things. So luck into the next fight, or early Bastion ult. Bastion will get traded out. He killed himself, actually. But looks like SE ran in, weren't quite ready for what OC was bringing.
Yeah, Walk picked up 3 there. The ult economy for OSU is looking really good. Mid-fight, though, SE will have about 4 ults here. So if OSU goes first, like they have been, there should be another fight for them. But if they don't let SE poke, then it could be really scary.
Probably looking down 2 ultimates with none of yours built is probably should be an OSU win. But they have an opportunity. Neither ult's super strong, and no beat yet.
You know, I taught JLo everything he knows about this map.
100%, right?
Here comes the window. I like this, pushing the Ram.
Window, well positioned. Ram, not a good spot. Does get the Ram ult out. Helma cannot stop Ram. Ram ult just gonna run her down, and she can't really do anything about it. And like I said, they did pop those 2 ults, but Ram ult, better position.
I think we just needed to see the Domino ult a bit earlier.
Yeah. Window well placed, but now that you lose that team fight, now you're gonna have a really hard next team fight. For OSU, of course.
Yeah, no ults up, and there's 3 ults inside of SE. Maybe a Blade Kitsune incoming.
Yeah, how do you expect to see Blade here?
I definitely expect to see Kitsune, but maybe Blade plus a Liang ult would be really scary.
And he has been doing those well, especially when he played against us a little earlier. Very good. There it is. There's the Blade from Liang. See if OSU is ready to deal with it. And it looks like they properly kite out the dash, and that'll allow them to live, but a little bit too much. Orcada going to take out the Dominant. SE really playing for this game as they're cleaning up the late fight. Let's see. They should be able to clean up the rest. It's a little bit messy. But then we'll force out for another fight. However, OSU, non-ultimate use. Yeah.
No, that's basically how they were forced to play that fight. They did play around the Blade wing as best as they probably could, but
a little too hard. 2 ultimates. You say go next, right? Let's see. Walk into the next ultimate. We're gonna have 5 with their 2nd ultimate. See how they're able to use this. SE also doing a little bit of a classic where you're wing and you're here, you kind of stack, and from all of that angles walking this team fight. Do get the rush with the overclock to match it, and OSU just beats back. They're going to use 2 ultimates to match theirs. They got their second. OSU should be looking to up. In fact, they used 3 just to secure out the team fights. Mail on main to freeze up the Ram. This Ram's not going to have a good day, especially when she gets up.
Yeah, this is a really hard fight to lose if you're SE because they could just stack cart here for OSU and be really hard for them to touch. I thought I'd pick up Lizard though.
Yeah, Elusa overextends a little bit. This could give them an opportunity. They technically can get a touch. Oh, sorry, if they were looking for it.
I think they're definitely going to because OSU only has 1 on cart.
And as we're walking up into this next team fight, you're going to get the window, hopefully to just kind of mark cart, and they should be able to close it out, but there's Rambo once again. Good to see it. Oh, and the Lucio feeds once again. Walks in a little bit too far, does get hit for it, and the Rambo, like I said, coming out, because you get the window up, but the Rambo is going to be able to clean up this team fight really good in these late, weird fights. And SE going to get another hold off the backs of that early pick from early.
Yeah, this is not great for OSU because once again they have no ult in the bank. SE has Blade and Wien coming up really fast here.
And this part of the map plays a lot more in favor for SE if they there's 2 main angles on the left and the right, and they have 2 really good support from left up. So we'll see how OSU decides to approach. Bastion in the side angle is getting spammed out. We'll see how he's walking back up. May down main does get Cryo Force, and we do have this Blade coming up very soon. We talked about it before, that Wien and Blade combo. Looks like they are going to go for it. Oh, with the lamp! He doesn't get it! And they trade out the Genji Blade! Slash misses, or it doesn't quite get enough damage on the lamp, and they're going to trade it out, and that's really good for OSU. Winning this team fight with no ult. Not over yet. May is walking forward, does have Cryo, so you're going to finish out, clean up the rest of the team. Losing Bastion, not too bad, should let you 3-step cart and cap here. That was a fantastic fight for OSU.
Yeah, that is a perfect representation of why Vibes always tell me Genji is really bad.
Yes, and I will say it as well. You are a very Feaster fan. It looks like they're going in for an engage again. Maybe looking for gets Domino ulted. For Alucard playing very. Let's see. We got the Wien ult onto the Ram. Not look like quite enough. They counter it with the window. And that's going to put him on the last point. And Alucard again switching off this Genji, which seems to be a strong suit.
That wasn't terrible for SE because they did force 2 of those use ults. Just for that tiny bit of distance.
But they also used 2. It looks like they're going to be down. However, you're right. Forcing out 2 before the cap is very nice. Will help them hold out this 3rd point, which obnoxious. Let's see.
You have National and Blizzard on the side of OSU. It's going to be really hard to get a nice Blizzard here just because there's so much open space.
However, if this Ram does decide to overextend, doesn't use his form, right? You could just walk in on top of the Ram. However, probably try to with Rush, and so the Ram's going to live out. They trade out vibes, and SE looks like they might hold another day. Lucio looking for a boot. Doesn't quite right. Alucard with some range damage. However, Walker trading out. That's actually a huge trade considering his team's almost back. He might be able to walk back in now, but we'll see. Walking this next fight, we do have Beat, we do have Ram ult. This Beat probably going to be used to protect the mid fight as they push through each other. But we will see how that goes.
Yeah, SC definitely has a really good comp for poking out their OSU because of the cast and Sagan. But it's hard at stuffing them from walking.
Yep. And looks like the Lucio gets caught out just a little bit with Beat, by the way. It's a really important ultimate. If they had Beat right now, they probably would end up winning this team fight. But the Ram ult going to stall it out long enough that they're going to be able to stabilize. Within the next team fight, there is overtime, so we're going to be playing onto the cart. They get the Beat to walk. Back doesn't get it, but it should be a little bit too hard. Beat obviously really good at being able to help you stay alive after you play. Up once again, looking at the next fight.
It would be really bad if Vibes died here for OSU.
I think it would be really bad if Vibes died ever. He should never die. I mean, every time he dies, he's just a bad player.
It looks like we probably get a touch from SE with Sojourn sliding on.
This is going to be a little panicked. OSU with 2 ultimates and the window. Probably didn't hold it out. They get the high noon, counted out by the dominoes. They got the rush, but they're kind of just staggering onto the point. The OSU has enough ultimates to clean this out. However, still scary, but the window in the back. Can't contest it. That should should be captured.
Yeah, OSU. Like, I think OSU literally just won that with their ult economy. Without that, I think it was a little lost for them.
Yep. And honestly, that third point kind of plays like that. Having to stack up your ults, put all of them into third point really hard to cap. Good on SC for trying to see if they can put a little bit more poke with the cast and the Sojourn. But looking at this next team fight, what do you want to see from SC to see them close out this map?
I want to see them being able to punish the Bastion forms. I've seen Tail using them really early in these fights, so we could do a better job of punishing him for those.
Yeah.
That and also just keep capitalizing on Lizard overextending. He always does it. So
that is a Lucio classic. You can't play Lucio and not overextend into the backline every once in a while. It's a trade-off of having a Lucio.
That's right. Might see a cat here though. I don't know if he's gonna play Lucio on the defense here.
That's true. I would like to. I think Lucio is good in the way that they're playing it, especially with the Bastion. I would like to see. I'm not liking this ramp. So usually Ram and Adomina not too bad, but not at the speed. You'll notice that there are playing Wei and Kiri, and they're kind of stacked. And when you're on a Wei and Kiri, you need those angles.
Yeah.
And if you're not playing for those angles, you might be as well be playing for speed.
I really like the Emery pick here. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't seen Emery yet today.
Yeah. TU played a little bit of Emery. As far as no other teams really play it.
Yeah, ours was playing it, but just not very well.
He's a weird hero because he doesn't quite play like all the other hit stands, but
I have so much fun playing that character. If I'm not on Venture, I'm on Emery.
Yep. Emery, very fun. Do enjoy the Emery. See what they're walking out on. OSU going to stay the same. SE, like you said, moving over. Oh, and they are going to move over to BAP. I don't mind this, but we'll see how it plays out.
It's good to just try and like death ball onto one of them, but
we'll offer a little bit more stabilization in these really defensive fights, right? Unfortunately, a little bit. We can get Domina putting up the shield, kind of pulling. Again, this Ram not going to be able to walk into Domina super easy. No speed. I'm finding the man. We've got the flank Bastion coming down on the back. SE trades it out. Lamp a little bit late. However, OSU gonna have a ton of space. It's gonna be kind of hard. Ooh, Lucio, as we were talking about earlier, does he feed out? He does get a little too aggressive. And OSU should be looking, SE should be looking for a clean walkthrough as they approach up in the next.
I'm very surprised at how well SE is doing still without speed while we're playing on that.
Yeah, especially onto this attack. I guess just playing for those hard hit scan angles and hoping that Ram can kind of beat up May. To be fair, last fight we did get there's that Bastion gonna die first once again. Hard post in the Bastion, not a bad idea. We get the window up. See if SE has responsible. They do not. The early window from OSU will trade out this team fight. Yes, we'll clean up this team fight as Domino walks down. All the rest of the players.
Vibes does not miss those headshots. Unfortunate for SE.
Vibes quite the May player, right?
Yeah, I like seeing this May a lot more than any of his other characters, just because it's very inspirational to watch.
Even the Sombra.
Well, yeah.
So we'll see walking up to this next team fight. Got the May ultimate. They do still have the Kiriko to the Suzu, but it's gonna go down on the Ram. We'll see if they can play around it. And they do get the pick, and it's the advantage of having the Inting Lucio. Sometimes they just kind of win the game. There he goes, in the back line, goes through the 2. You lose some, you win some, right? It's probably going to be played up a third here in a second. Whoop. And, oop! Is he inting or is he winning? He's winning. As we walk into the next team fight with several.
Yeah, this Ram can't die here though. Yeah, we have to cleanse it. Yeah, for both forwards. You get 5 ults on the side of SC though.
As we walk in, probably expecting a rail. This is going to be very messy. Mail, probably the big determiner here, whether or not you can get it off through the Suzu.
If I'm SE, I'm ripping with Emerald. So strong.
Alright, we start with the window. Matched out. Yeah, window is matched out with the freeze, and there you go. Freeze trading out. SE does have a lot of opens. They pop 3. They're not quite. They're going to need to win quick before OSU has a chance to respond. They are currently in an advantage, but really low. No supports. Both traded out. Can Domino live? If Domino, yep, there goes the bat. Domino probably isn't long for this world either, and that'll allow him to cap out. Wait, Lucio's on point. Can he get beat? He does have beat. Does he go for the touch? Oh my god, we got the. Did not Ajax. It was really close. And we're gonna look at a late fight Ram ults. We'll see. 9! We see 9!
No, we didn't.
Wait, no, we didn't. Oh, my bad. I thought we capped. It's still one more. If A
the
does-
Ram will split.
you have your lamp and you got your Domina ult, which is coming in very soon. Should help sustain the Domina. Look at these mid fights. Ram ult is down. We got the window. Looking to shoot. All stacking on point. Can they clean this up? Ooh, the Emery through the window takes out one. Window gone. Bab a little too close. Domina looking for the shots. Does Lucio die? If Lucio lives here, then they can win. This is really low and does die out, and that will probably lead to this Ram dying a little bit later as they push pressure out the Kiriko. Kiriko TPs, Ram no cooldowns, and they're going to clean it up. That was crazy.
That is an insane pull from OSU. I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah,
that beat from Lizard was just the saving grace.
10 HP maybe. I didn't quite catch it, but so close to Ajaxing. That will catch them out as they close out this map. And good job to OSU.
Yeah. Oh, now we get to see those shots I was talking about, I think, where he just is hitting all the heads.
Yep, you're gonna get this is very end what was this? The
very close.
third to last team fight, something like that. Just hits the headshot. Wait. Can you get one more? Yeah, there you go.
Gross.
That's gross.
Making May look like a top tier.
May hurt. I think she's very good on that map.
Yeah.
SE not really having a good response to the May at all.
If I'm SE, I'm trying to take them to a hybrid map here. SE is definitely a lot stronger on the escort and hybrid maps from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Blizzard World, I can. Who knows?
They do seem very strong.
We're going to
go with the Atlas, looking to play probably more for the Zarya stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing that everything else is not working out for them. Played the Bastion, played the Sim, played the Poke. So let's go play some Rush and see how it plays out. We'll see what bans end up with here. If you're looking at last map for SE, this feels like it makes sense. Had a hard time with May and Poke.
I've seen Walk play Mauga on this map a lot. So
yeah, that could be interesting.
It'll be a little disgusting if I do see that on my screen, but it's okay.
I would not recommend Mauga playing into Zarya. It's probably a little bit hard. So I don't know what you guys play into Zarya. I don't know if that's a thing.
I think they still play Haz probably is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Haz, the Mauga, heck, maybe even Diva.
Wait, it can just. Wait, hold up. Well, we're gonna have a quick technical pause for just 2 seconds, and we'll be right back. Fixing something.
So that's what I've been saying, right? Hey guys.
Oh, hey, we're back. Did you guys miss all that? What? Oh well, we got camera back. Everyone say hi once again. Say hi to the people over in the rooms too. You see a couple cameos.
I see my player down there.
Right, they're cheering you on. So, oh, they might be cheering on. They might be frozen. I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay, walking in, continuing to talk about Atlas, kind of what they're looking to do. Again, I don't know what you'll be expecting again into Zarya with OSU stuff.
We could see Audacitel on the Tracer. I've seen him run Tracer sometimes with this. That, or he could just be on his usual cast.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would probably expect Genji to come back out for Allocate. Wait, is it Genji being banned? Oh, good ban by OSU. So looks like what was SE's ban? So we got the Haz ban first. Very smart. Yeah. Again, I think they want to force this Zarya Hazard a good character into it. And then SE responding by banning the Genji, saying, "Nah, you can't play around that."
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get to see the Diva from Walk, but it might not be played if SE plays Zarya here.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we do go back into the Mauga into the Zarya, maybe. Or maybe do you guys mirror? Do you guys play Zarya?
I don't think I've seen him on Zarya a whole lot. But Vendetta Zarya is very strong, so I would not put it past them.
We played against SC with a similar ban with Genji. It looks like Allocade went onto the Tracer. Seemed all right. So we'll see if let's see if OSU can deal with it as well.
Yeah.
So Allocade, I think, also plays Vendetta, so it would be cool to see this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good brawl either way.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm personally not a huge fan of Atlas. I definitely prefer Suravasa.
So it looks like there's some swaps going on in the chat, but let's see.
Yeah.
You're mentioning Suravasa, sorry?
No, yeah, I definitely prefer Suravasa out of all the Flashpoint maps.
Yes.
I didn't like Atlas when it released, but it definitely grew on me to like. I definitely prefer it over New Jump City.
I think that's almost always the case for Flashpoint maps. Flashpoint maps are so big, and there's so much chaos that to figure out the map takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's a reason why you'll see it banned a lot more times in low ranks. You'll see it picked a lot more in high ranks. Is once you figure out the maps, they're really cool.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a whole ton of playtime on them, they can be very chaotic. A lot going on, flanks everywhere, big open maps. So we'll see if OSU, again, that Tracer plays really well for that. See if SC can take advantage of it with their Genji gone.
I'm assuming just like a Lucio Kiri on either side here.
Probably.
Unfortunately, succumb to the Overwatch meta.
The standard metas can't force anything else anymore.
Yeah.
If it is Lucio Kiri, do you think who's favored in that?
If it's Lucio Kiri, I think it's OSU because Joking Lizard's Lucio is such a pain in the butt to deal with. But I have seen Robotic Cat on this Kiriko play really well, so...
The Space Maker on the Ven. That I was not expecting. Allocate on the Reaper. I don't think Reaper is very good.
They played, Space Maker was on Ven last time they played Atlas.
Really?
When y'all played.
Okay, interesting. Allocate not playing the Vendetta. It's just a really strong hero to not play.
They are on the Malga. I'm honestly surprised Tails played nothing but Bastion in this.
It is really funny. I guess I see not quite being able to handle it. Cycles around Bastion are really frustrating.
It is his anti-Vendetta Zarya device. So
that is true.
Really
yeah. Walking with May, with walls, with hat like Malga. We'll see. Yeah, there you go. So he's getting engaged. Malga charges in. They're going to see the form. However they live, properly kited. This is what you like to see from SE. Will they get to re-engage now? There's been a lot happening. Reaper is very good with the dash. They'll get on top of him like this. Should pick up the kill. And theoretically, SE should be very good today. As they look to clean up the rest of the team fight. Malga a little bit low. There is this, should finish off the rest of this team fight. Again, low key, SE's not pretty good. Into the Sigma.
I don't know how I feel about it.
It's interesting because it's also going to get walled, stomped, and Bastion formed.
I feel it's going to, yeah.
I feel like if you go anything into this, you could go Mei. Or sorry, not you could go Diva.
I really like Diva in that combat too.
Yeah, despite the Mei just being able to fly over walls. But we'll see, because there's the form, forced out. You don't have any support for this Vendetta. She goes in, and looks like OSU is just going to pick the map and charge in. Charge in, hit 3-2-1, hit E. I don't know. Oh, that can do. Trade up the Mei. Nice. Okay.
I think their goal on the Sig is just to out-poke them before the fighting even starts.
Sure.
And just keep kiting them, but poking with huge hits.
Yeah, so it's a great trade into Bastion form. If you can get it off. My only worry was maybe you get stomped by the Malga at the same time, but looks like he's gotten it off both times, and one worked out both of them. Yeah, so welcome to the next one.
Yeah, I think if OSU doesn't find out how to deal with this Reaper, it's going to be really bad for them. Coming in once again, though, with the Bastion.
Yep, Bastion does get fluxed, so only gets a couple, it does get rocked, only get a couple shots off, as this Sigma looking to walk on this Bastion is actually proving really uncomfortable in his comp. Trade the points as we go for a flux on both backliners. Does get the Lucio. Great flux from Fluff Nuggets, as he will clean up the rest of the team fight and proving me wrong, making the Sig look good.
I'm not surprised. Tail swapping over to the cast. Bastion's really hard to no comp.
Yes, multiple counters. You can maybe play around the Malga stuff, but you have to learn that stomp. If you don't learn that stomp, the matchup is pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the cast and the Mei poking punish me and into the Malga stomp coming out here. We have Blizzard up though, and a very fast contagion from the side of OSU. SC does have 4 ults though. So they want to go fast. Here's a Blizzard from Dive.
Yep, identifying that they have 4 ults, deciding to go first, and you see walk off the map, really close. Would have been very funny to not only mail but also walk off. And looks like they still, looks like SE with just a rush is going to clean up this team fight. OSU played for a gamble of let's play early to try to deal out their multiple ult fights, and he's going to clean it up.
Vendetta just doing so much that fight.
Low-key, I'm a little worried about the main here, too.
Yeah. I don't know if he stays. I think his main goal is just trying to stuff out the Vendetta engage, but he probably just does always die.
Yeah, May doesn't really have a good way to stop Reaper or Vendetta. She does have a decent interaction with Sigma, but Sigma with Kiriko can kind of just get suited. So you're not playing for your ult. A lot of the good stuff we saw. So watching this team fight, although Alucard dies early. Looks like they are going to try to trade it out the cast without roll. Vendetta ults just to kind of make some space while they restabilize. They do trade out properly. The Kiriko Suzu with the trying to kill the Orisa. However, it's really messy team fight. Vibes take out the Lucio. Speaks a little bit too much. Seems to be a fully time. Although trading out both backliners as Alucard is back on the fight. Is going to clean this up. Nice. Cast also back in the team fight, so kind of a 1v1. Although OSU does have the points. Looks like SC going to play for the regroup and probably get the retouch here.
Alucard kind of just smurfed all of that. The Robotic Cat burned, walked down to like 1 HP, and Alucard cleaned up him and the May as well.
Yeah, really messy team fights. We're walking into a lot of ultimates after that team fight. See if either team are ready to deal with them. See what OSU walks out first. This high noon will be hard into the Sig, but some value gets the flash. Looks for an early reroll, does not get the value of Pokemon, so he's going to try to follow up on it, take advantage. However, the beat in response to keep all of OSU alive as they look to trade out. Although the counter beat from SE, much better. They get the late fight beat. The Mail to try to counter it up, but it looks like it's just a little bit too late. Again, that Mail not quite doing enough for them if they want to. Having speed and Suzu makes it pretty easy to trade out late fight Mails. It's just really hard to get value out of it as they win that team fight as well.
Yeah, this is not looking very good if you're a Cowboys fan. They do have Kitsune and the Orisa ult up here, but again, they're just getting run over by this Ven and this Reaper. The Sig doing so much poke.
They do go for the Sombra switch. However, Sombra also not super good in this comp, so we'll see. I think the Orisa also not super good in the Sigma, so again, we'll see how these comp matchups go as they rush out on high ground to try to chase. SE properly kites and has their own rush to probably match in about a second. Or is it a little too late? Do they die for it? They're holding just a little bit too long. Really going to need these ultimates soon. Thank God no one died as they match with the rush. And although the Orisa ults, he's going to hold them off. Yeah, he's going to finish it off. Alucard did get caught out, but Rush is just, they have a little bit of a later rush with more cooldowns, and they come back to finish the team fight. Fight's not over yet, as they do trade out the pass, and Vendetta, again, into the Sombra. There's not much Sombra can do. Sigma is going to walk down this character, trade out the backline, as they walk onto Emre, and I love the Emre pick here. I think Emre is really good. Is going to be able to hold shift on either their maintain range against both of the SE's DPS and have shift to kind of jump around them. Still a little worried about the Sombra. We'll see what we look at.
Yeah, they have a Vendetta ult there coming up here, but I don't know if they're just going to use it to make a little space or maybe even counteract the upcoming Blizzard beat. What an angle from Robotic Cat.
Gets caught up for it. That poke right from the Emre really mattering there. Guys picking out the Kiriko as they continue to walk. Buffing up did get his. We'll see if that matters, as it is just him and the Vendetta. Into late fight, probably not good. They will not end up winning this last fight. But that is only one ult for us. So looking for the next fight.
Yeah, they just need to keep being able to stabilize against this Vendetta on the side of OSU, and as long as they can do that, it might be winnable for them.
Looking at this next team fight, you are looking at EMP. You can see Vibes farming it very quickly. EMP, probably a beat in response when you're looking for another beat, but you gotta really care about that ult. As we look at these around and start to the team fight. Versa kind of pulling main, you don't do it on, so will be forced back. Again, the privilege of the Sigma can kind of just hold the ground better. As Reaper gets into the back, as long as he doesn't die for it, nothing's really happening. SE probably needs to force the issue. And Sig, is he going to die? Is he going to die? He does get the beat. The beat response with the Orisa ults. Looks like SE gave him a little too much time with the charge ultimates. And we're going to get the sword. We'll miss the sword. And Hacked out of the sword. Actually, plumb EMP. Waiting for the EMP to kill the sword, or hit the sword. To get some late fight cleanup. There's a lot going on, but looks like we get some cleanup on the rest of SE as OSU will win out that point at an ult disadvantage right now.
This is looking like OSU finally found the right comp into SE's very aggressive, but they are off of the Vendetta now onto the Emery. I'm very surprised. I thought Vendetta was just super good, especially like into the Sombra and very good at picking off even Lucio the Curie.
A little awkward into the Orisa, but Loki doing very well and has nothing to stop her. So we'll see how this goes. Reaper into Orisa also really tragic, so we'll see. This would actually be a fantastic Genji if you wanted to move back over. Oh, never mind. If you wanted to move back over to it, if we look at the next team fight. Looking like we're just kind of walking in, and there goes the Lucios. Both Lucios hinting to get it off. Alcade with the Reaper roll. Really needed is a double Reaper roll and Flux once again. The Emery ult to response, is just really good. Gets him out of that chaoticness. Although, yeah, and then we'll clean up the rest of the team fights by losing a member too early.
That was definitely a bronze ult fight.
A little bit. Stack your ults, and then OSU just spaced them out. Was able to respond to it a little bit better. We are looking at a rush for SC walking into next team fight.
And on Zarya now.
Yeah, and on Zarya. I think this is much better. However, Zarya Reaper does not do well into Orisa, and I think they're going to run into that same problem. SC walking into the team fight. There's not really a lot they can do about Orisa now with this one. At least not with the Reaper. So walking this team fight, probably look for Rush. Rush might help them win, and they launch it up. Looks like OSU, but they do have that Orisa ult kind of around the Rush. Yep, there it is. Going to be popping a mid fight, tying everyone on a Rush, splitting the team, and while he's splitting the team, Hit's going to take advantage of that pressure and that space and finish the team fight. It's actually looking really dangerous for SC, who's quite locked in for the beginning points. But now that we're looking at possibly a 2-2 situation and walking into the next team fight with an EMP.
Yeah, it was so good for OSU because Aldazitel had the angle on the Emery and just the SE got so hard punished for it because they didn't really get to look at him in time.
Yeah. As we're walking in, again, Orisa made the space. A good counterplay for that rush first. We're going to be looking at EMP here for this team fight. It should just be a free team fight for OSU. Unless there's anything you can think of.
They could know they have an EMP and then have the Emery just blow them up. They do have Emery coming up fast here though.
Sure. I would expect OSU to kind of just play for this EMP probably quickly, or he could just kill the Kiriko in neutral. And then save EMP for next fight. This is looking worse and worse for SE as the knock goes on. Very worrying as we go.
Walk super low here though. They could try and lead with an Orisa pick. Looks like they're not going to be able to get it. Maybe they can move the Reaper pick.
Maybe, although trade on once again. Lucio's, however.
Lucio gets back way back.
Of course, if there's someone you're willing to trade, it's definitely Lucio's. You're definitely looking at another ult fight, but again, the more ult fights you have, the more you have EMP, the better it gets. Because EMP will just win a team fight for you. Let's see, actually push this a little bit early, and there's the EMP, like I said. And they actually pop EMP and Emerald, which is a little dangerous for OSU.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's a really good combo.
Right.
And they still have those support ults.
Yes, and they actually catch the beat. I'm not sure how that happened.
There have been so many Ajaxes today.
It might have been an Emery ult first. I don't quite have audio, so I wasn't sure if it got Ajaxed or not. But maybe they Emery ulted and impeded an Ajax. It would have been cool. But somehow they do win out that team fight with 2 ults. Looking at the next one, you've got Grav, Reaper, Emery ults. Probably looking for an Emery start for SE that have responses to it. We'll see how it goes.
Here comes the Katsune. Very, very early.
They do actually go first. I'm not a huge fan of this from OSU, but they get the kill. So there you go. That's what you're looking for that early rush. Looks like for a trade out grab, and they're just going to pop double ultimates to make sure they win up this team fight. And with the win at 80%, looks like OSU going to win out.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for SE to touch here. They do have the Reaper ult here, though,
yeah,
as well as Emery ult, which is extremely strong.
Right, it was a good thing of OSU for pressuring a little bit early, not letting them take advantage of the ultimates.
Looks like there's no touch, and the game does go to
and
OSU.
They will clean it up. So OSU win. SE putting up a decent fight on that map, almost had it. A couple good swaps from OSU will turn around the map for them as SE not quite able to find the solution to the Orisa and some of the Emery stuff.
Yeah. It was really good on the side of OSU. They adapted to SE's really strong Sigma Vendetta Reaper. with the Orisa swap and the Emery swap.
I do think the map choice and stuff is good for SE. Good decision making. They had a good chance. They gave themselves a good chance to win out that map. OSU just did a little bit of better adapting, and that should be GG's for the off-season season.
It was an awesome time, though.
Yeah,
I had a fun time. This is definitely the most fun I've had playing in a league, just because it's so local to Oklahoma.
It's awesome to see everyone. Last time I hosted an event, it was awesome to see everyone come out and say hi. Just really cool to see people in person, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you've been to Smash events, the same idea.
This is what we're going to plug. The Contender on Friday.
Yo, Ultimate Contender, come and play Smash, but everyone here plays Overwatch, so no one's coming.
It's true.
We've got a comm of maybe the Joking Lizard MVP from the Lucio was able to both int and win the game at the same time.
Definitely had gold deaths.
So shout out to Joking Lizard to having gold deaths and still winning the game. That beat on the second map to close out that map was incredible. Did not Ajax it, closes it out. Good control of space and how the team fights go. So shout out Joking Lizard. And then I think that's everything from me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Anything else we want to say before we head out? Should be good. So thanks for tuning in. It's been the Offseason LAN. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you, Gustav, for casting with me.
Yeah,
it was
fun.
And see you guys next time.